Thin Lizzy, just a taste of what we're going to be doing tomorrow at GPS Ireland. This is the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I am Ron Bennington. And, you know, this GPS Ireland on 3 o'clock tomorrow on Deep Tracks.
Yes. Channel 27.
That reminded me of the fact that this thing taught me that Dexy's Midnight Riders were not an Irish band. And I always thought they were.
Yeah, they're like, I think they're like Northern English.
Yeah, they are.
I think that's like their kind of thing. But they always had like a very Irish vibe. Like, remember the video too? Like, they just look like Irish dudes.
Yeah, they look like they were in Belfast. And the Celtic Soul Brothers, it's enough right there.
That's one of my most favorite songs.
Do you know, like, a lot of people who live in Ireland have Irish roots? Right. So Elvis Costello's people came from Ireland, but
right.
He's English.
Well, because even like that northern English accent starts to sound very Irish. Like, it starts to get like softer. It's like less of that kind of like that kind of snobbish London thing. It's it gets all like rounded and like lilty. We're
still eating the tarts from Connor's mom, and they are unbelievable.
They're so good. It's like it's like a shortbread tart.
Mm. Mm. I don't even know what it is.
Did you grow up eating this kind of stuff all the time?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's so good.
Now, today is your official last day with the Bennington Show.
Unfortunately, yes.
You've been turning down offers with other shows. You seem to be a hot one because you want to keep your rock and roll career going at all times.
No sellout.
And we're having you back soon to play live. Leeds. I call it Live at Leeds. I don't know whether it'll catch on. I hope it does. But you've been, phenomenal in every way.
Thank you.
And I'm sure if you were single, Jen and you would have
definitely
finally hooked up.
100%.
Jen, have you ever run anybody through our universe that you were attracted to, but you never told us about?
I did, but I'm still not going to say it.
I'm going to.
I'll say it off air.
Yeah, but I'm going to guess on air. If I'm right, that's it.
Okay.
I'm going to say that it's a comedian.
Yep.
I'm going to just say the obvious. It's Artie Lang.
No.
That shouldn't get that big of a laugh. Now, we talked about this.
I thought that was a legitimate guy.
We always do a thing, like when we perform live, where we act like Gail is attracted to Louis J. Gomez, and I'm disgusted and racist about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that should be a funny bit. I like the bit. Gail likes the bit.
I love it.
Louis J. Gomez likes the bit. You know who hates it?
Who?
All the other comics. They get their feelings hurt so bad.
It happened with Bobby Kelly. It happened with Big J the last time we did Comedy 101.
Yes, Big J was pissy about it.
Yeah, not only was I could see in his face he was legitimately hurt. I'm like, that's just so uncomfortable. It's just like I'm saying, like, I'm picking of all of the panel who is the most fuckable. And he's like, that really hurts me. And his face was legitimately hurt. And not only that, this goes to show you what kind of man he is deep down. He immediately started making fun of my clothes. Like, immediately after. He's like, oh, you don't like me? I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you.
Well, guess what? When he does like you, he still hurts you. Christina's called me many times late at night. Voss has gotten his feelings hurt over that. And like you said, Robert Kelly really deeply hurt. So we can't do the bit anymore.
Yeah.
Because the PC culture comics get their little sensitive feelings hurt so fast.
Voss just brought it up to me yesterday. He said this exact thing. He's just like remembering somebody, a comedian that I said was my all-time comedian crush.
Because when you were a little girl, you loved Jimmy Shubert.
I loved Jimmy Shubert. Like, Jimmy Shubert to me was the end. I had the biggest crush on him. And then Voss says to me yesterday, like, yeah, I was just like trying to make you laugh today. And he was just like, just trying to get that number one spot. Because I always remember you said Jimmy Shubert was your crush. So like, I'm like, who gets?
He doesn't have to. Don't worry about it.
So is Louis J. Gomez the new Jimmy Shubert? Is that what you're saying?
No, you're missing the point.
Oh, okay.
It's a fucking joke we did on stage.
Oh. Now I understand.
That was the point of it.
Yeah.
None of it. How come they can do jokes about anything?
Yeah.
And hey, it's a joke. But when we do it, the full heat.
I get off stage and immediately like, you seriously think Louis J. Gomez is more attractive than me, or what's up?
And by the way, when she was in love with Jimmy Schubert, she was 6.
I was a baby.
Understood.
I was a baby.
Which is the only time you would have been interested in her, Chris.
No, I don't like kids. Either socially or sexually. Why do I have to say this?
Then why did you like a picture on my Instagram of me in a bathing suit as a child?
I did not do that. I'm not even on Instagram. Jesus Christ.
These tarts are amazing.
They're so good. I can't stop myself. I need one more. I need one last tart.
One
last tart. Give me one.
Will they stay nice in my pocket if I take them home for dessert tonight? Coming up at 2:00, Maria Bamford at 2. But I want to, one thing that happens here after the show is I get Jen to dish to me because she's the only one of us that follows gossip. You do like gossip, right?
I love gossip.
Now, where's your gossip source?
It's like on Snapchat now. They have like the news stories.
I
So
didn't know
usually
that.
it's Daily Mail, E-News, sometimes Reddit.
Is there any gossip that you've ever followed along with, Gail, and you're like, oh, that's
Well,
interesting to me?
I guess the closest thing is, and I'm not happy about it, like I do have a bit of a shame about it, but I do like celebrity babies and kids.
That's odd.
And it makes me feel bad, but I do get curious and like I'll always do the clickbait like, oh, cute pictures of like Angelina Jolie's kids or like what's going on with Surrey Cruz. I'm like, look at that little outfit. And I wish I didn't do it because like it's terrible.
You know what I do like, though? I like a celebrity rehab because I'm just like, oh, I'm just like him. I'm just like that guy. I like
Stars
those.
are just like us.
Yes. More than me than I've ever known. But the other day I saw Brad said that he's totally sober first time in his life, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why now? Why after you left your wife?
Like now.
This is not, you could have done this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Isn't that
everything
what
would be
Stanley
fine.
did?
Yeah, Stanley waited until his stars are just like us. When his chick finally left him for being a drunk drug addict, then he got sober. I'm going to say it. His motivation, spite. Just spite. So dishing with Jen here today. What is the dish? What's happening?
With Brad Jelena.
Now, anybody. Give me something I don't know that is going to pique me.
Kylie and Travis Scott are dating right now, which is a rapper who dated, well, he had a little fling with Rihanna before.
Yeah. Now, do you think he had anal with both of these women?
And filmed it.
Yeah. Does he do any filmed anal?
No.
Now, here's another thing, though, I will admit. Any Stars vacation home. I'll be like, I will go and go through the whole thing. I'll go, I don't think I would want that, to tell you the truth. I mean, there's no view. I hate their stuff. But I do enjoy kind of home porn.
Do you think that like any celebrity just feels like garbage if they don't have an infinity pool? Because it seems like they all have an infinity pool.
You know, it depends on where they live with it. Like,
Right.
if you live on a cliff, yeah, get in. But if you have an infinity pool without a view, you're fucking wasting my time. I don't want to have fucking infinity in the suburbs.
It's just infinity into somebody else's like backyard.
Yeah, there's two like any California, two things. Do you have the great view? Yes. If you don't have a great view, have you turned your backyard into a jungle that is completely your sex den island?
Right.
I'm all for that all the time.
Which would you prefer, Sex Den Island or a view?
I'm always about the view, no matter where I am. If it's New York, Paris, it doesn't matter. The view is always fantastic to me. Because the rest of it, I'm going to be honest, I can't judge whether it's a nice kitchen or not. I don't know enough. You know what I mean? Like, I like less than rather than more than, but...
Spartan man.
Yeah,
Minimalist.
but maybe I'm wrong. I'd rather not have furniture. You know what I mean?
Like, well, I mean, of course that makes sense. Like, because could anyone imagine Ron Bennington buying a tchotchke?
Why wouldn't I?
This is so cute.
Yeah.
This is really cute.
Why wouldn't I go into the store and find something interesting? I don't know. I can't. I don't know whether one thing of salt and pepper shakers are better than the other. I can't tell. I wish I could. I wish I knew if that was a nice ottoman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be over leather guy, but
Right.
that's the guy I would be if I was forced to pick my own.
I
things.
would be interesting to see, like, if we could just show you, like, something that was like, here's something that's you could buy at Walmart, and here's something that's like $6,000. Like an ottoman from either one. Could you go? That's the expensive one.
Most of the time, I would just be able to say, "Oh, I like that. It looks like Hemingway's house." You know what I mean? It looks like you could clean fish in the living room, but it's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really know that about clothes because 90% of the time I compliment a woman's clothing. She's just like $14. 14.
Has there ever been a person that you paid too much to the gossip on?
When I was younger, I paid too much attention to Leonardo DiCaprio gossip because he was like my biggest crush, and then he started fucking like models, and I was just like, this is disturbing to me. I don't understand. I thought he would want a woman of substance, you know, someone kind of short, but funny. Like it was. So I was kind of into reading about his.
We have a mutual friend that wrote a mean fan letter to the lead singer of Counting Crows because he was a serial beautiful model actress dater and said, now I know that all your lyrics are bullshit. You know what I mean? You just really are like any dude, bro. And when she told me that she sent that out, I fell on the ground.
That's so
I
funny.
fell on the ground because A, he doesn't even know you. You haven't let him down.
Yeah.
You weren't his high school prom date that you said one thing then and then you changed.
Yeah, and like, exactly, like, how is that going to affect, like, just some random person that's like,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you. Also, I love the idea of an angry letter.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's so much better than angry text, angry email, like an actual angry letter that goes in the mail. Like, you are like, you're gonna walk all the way to, like, send this, you're gonna put it in a mailbox.
There is no funnier opening to a letter than Dear Sirs. You know what I mean? Like, your product has brought me nothing but pain and frustration. And like, when I have something that doesn't work, I just throw it out and feel like I got ripped off. There are people who won't let go of it. They'll be like a John Wayne revenge film. You know what I mean? They just keep riding until they get who they're after.
Well, I see there's a lot of comedians who will like tweet airlines and tweet places
because they know they get free shit.
Yeah, I see it a lot.
I don't even fucking believe it anymore.
But you know, I think it wouldn't be worth it for me for everyone who was my followers to see me.
You know you're getting fucked over?
No, not to know that I'm getting fucked over. To know that like I'm trying to get something for free.
But I think people don't think that you're trying to get something free, that you're just complaining. I think people complain and then in the hopes that they will get something for free.
100% of the time.
You see people ask for free shit?
No, they don't ask, but that's what that's the point of the complaining. The point of the complaining is to like, when somebody tweets at, oh, hey, American Airlines, you did this thing. They're trying to get some sort of discount or something.
Yes, of course they are. I'm looking at the candy from yesterday that was sent to us by Beth, and this is our anniversary candy, so it's for everybody, 2 years of the Bennington show. Can anyone tell what is inside these?
No.
And it literally is one of those things that's too beautiful to eat.
They're so pretty. I'm going to do this one.
Is there an answer key?
There is somewhere, but that seems like cheating.
Anything with chocolate and sea salt's out of this world. All right, everybody take one.
That's a ridiculous spread of chocolate.
And then try to guess what you have.
I cheated because I could see it's chocolate and sea salt, and I played it safe, and guess what? I'm happy with that play.
Nice.
Because chocolate and sea salt is the best thing that's happened to the planet.
This is so intense. Take this.
What did you get, Jen?
It's like caramel, but I thought from looking at it, it'd be mint.
Mm-hmm.
Like a mint
Mine
chocolate.
is chocolate banana.
Is it great?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I like chocolate and banana.
I grabbed this one. I have no idea what could be inside.
That's the same one Jen did.
Oh. Well, now I feel like it is. I didn't see what she grabbed.
I'm going to go for this yellow thing.
Yellow thing. That's what you call it. What'd you get? He has no idea.
I have no idea. It's lemony.
Lemony.
So
of course.
lemony.
Yellow.
It's creamy and lemon. I don't know if it's delicious.
Connor hasn't picked yet. I think he thinks it's too effeminate.
is a very picky eater. Did you know that?
I am.
Mm-mm.
This thing looks like a hermit crab. Down at the shore that you buy and it dies when you get home. Some type of white stuff inside, but it's pretty damn good.
White stuff. White stuff is the best.
You guys are incredible.
By the way, these tarts, tell your mom, the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. I'm not even a tart fan.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievable.
That's really good.
They were an accident.
They were an accident?
She was trying to make cookies and she just ruined them all by
Maybe
using the
that's
wrong
why I
tray.
like
Yeah.
And then they became tarts. She was like,
tart.
and then she's made them every Christmas.
And her other accident is lead singer of the band Leeds. Did it feel like Voss was back from yesterday? He's talking, but I'm the headliner here.
Try to hide from him.
So funny.
When he's explaining, when he said something about middling, and then he's just like, Rory knows.
And more than anybody. Then he'll go to me later. He'll go, why can't I get people to like me? I go, it's the way you treat them. No, I got enough candy. You know, one piece of candy, if you're not a child, one piece of candy is enough. Like a week from now, if someone tries to give you a piece of candy, you'd be like, I had some a week ago.
I'm not an animal.
If I'm going to eat that candy, it'll be alone in the dark. You know? And I'll be smoking and crying about my life. Why did I say those things? Why did I leave her? All right, so I want you almost every day to have gossip from me.
Okay.
And by the way, gossip about people I care about.
Okay.
I want to hear some comedy, world gossip.
Okay.
You know, I always will lean in if somebody says two comedians are dating.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Any dating, like, if you know them personally, a secret in the workplace.
Yeah. Like, oh, well, this just came out yesterday. Morning Joe are engaged.
Finally.
Oh,
Wasn't that rumors for a long time?
And do you know, I had no idea. Were they open about being
No,
together?
they were not open. This is the first time that they will answer the question that they do suck each other's genitals.
so specific.
Now, you want to hear why, though? It's like last week there was an article, and I didn't see it. I can't get up and hear that fucking rambling. But Morning Joe started being mean to her on the show and was fighting with her.
Oh, shit.
Right? The next day they didn't come on. And people are like, I forget, I saw it like on Mediate. You ever go to that site? Mm-hmm. It'll just give you the best clips from all the news shows.
Perfect.
I feel like I could do that sometimes instead of watching the news. And then they're like, this is an unexplained vacation. And somebody in Fox had an unexplained vacation, too, because he said, I like the way Ivanka was working that microphone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and everyone got mad. Colbert had to kind of apologize for saying cock holster. Because sucking a penis is not calling someone a woman. It's being homophobic. It's not being misogynistic. Mm-hmm. It always was funny to me, like slut shaming, when I was like in 9th grade, when you're just really starting to have sex, and guys would be like, she blew someone, she's a slut. And I'd be like, dude, we want them to do that.
Yeah.
Stop making it a bad thing.
That was always strange to me, too. Like, as a kid, you were like, why are you going to make them feel bad about the thing you want them to continue to do?
Because it's the borderline gay guys that hate women, but they act like they're a regular dude.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to look at Vito, but the kind of guys Vito hung out with as part of the Slurpee House posse. What were they called?
Slurpee House Mafia?
Slurpee House Mafia, which there's a picture of them up right now.
Jesus Christ.
This should have just the title over it, yo, yo, yo. Remember, like, well, you guys might be too young, but in the 90s, every MTV break started with, yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
Even if it was a white guy. We're at the beach house right now. Well, you did that kind of radio for a while, right?
Yeah.
Where they would be like, yo, man.
Yeah. It would always start with yo.
Your new video about to drop. Talk about it.
Yeah.
That's in urban radio, that's a question.
It was like, too, like, they'll be, like, interviewing, but it's so vague. They're like, you been out there doing your thing.
Right.
And it's like, what? Tell us. We're the audience.
First of all, appreciate it, man. You're representing not just yourself, but everybody else. You're just like, have you done no fucking show prep? Yeah, you out there making things happen. You popping. What I want to ask you, if you don't mind me asking you, you gonna keep it going? Like, this serves zero purpose. There's zero purpose there. I gotta say this, Gail. I respect you. I think you're one of the best. But I did not want you in here today. It's like, what are you? What?
Oh, it's about to get real.
Yeah, we gonna get real.
Okay.
If you don't mind, we about to get real. Because I know you've been saying some things, and everyone knows what they are. I don't know what they are. I want you.
Yeah, they're very, very
to fucking fill me in. I'm so interested. Man, everybody talking about you right now because you're out there on a daily basis. You know what's always funny? Because you go past shade, like the performer comes in, 85 people follow him in and just line the room.
Ridiculous.
You're like, you wonder why everyone goes bankrupt. You know what I mean? You take a look when Paul Feig comes in, he's got one guy. Right? And that guy's going like this. I've got to find out my own place to eat lunch. I'm not going to the ball. Those guys have got everybody with them.
They have also videographers. Every posse has now a videographer.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But I remember, like, black people in video, even in the 90s, every black guy you see, like, when you would go to the beach, would have these giant, they used to have
VHS ones?
Yeah. And they were giant. Like, they love Japanese technology. They love technology. Yeah. I don't know why, though. Because where do you watch these things? This is us walking down the hall. You know? Like, you can't watch 24 hours.
Everything's B-roll. Everything's B-roll.
Yeah, my life is B-roll right now. Do you guys watch Atlanta at all?
Yeah.
Paperboy is my favorite.
Paperboy's so
because he's
good.
got to get that paper boy. And then other people would be like, what are you paper boy? Like what? Like you delivering papers? No, man, I ain't delivering no papers. And he'll have that guy with him, and the guy's like this, well, you know I'm coming on. Out of nowhere, this dude's thin, nice,
so good.
funny guy.
He is so good.
And he took his gun out of a box of cereal that he was keeping in, and the other guy was getting some cereal, and he goes, hey, man, be careful with that. You might be a bullet in it. It's the funniest fucking show. But Paperboy is the greatest name ever.
So good. Yeah, that show's fantastic.
All right, we got to go to break already, Chris?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
Coming up, 2 o'clock today, Maria Bamford going to be here doing her thing. She out there making it happen right now.
She keeping it real.
Yeah. Every time I turn around, Maria Bamford. Yo, say what you're doing. Yo, say everybody in your group. They never learned the other guy's name, so the fucking lead singer has to introduce everybody. Yo, man, say who all these people is. But why is that? Is there no prep in that world?
I think it's just more of a who's friends with who. So, like, you know, if they're interviewing somebody, even if they don't even know them, they want to make them feel like, oh, we're from the same upbringing. It's just more of like a relatability, I
right.
think.
So it's not for the audience at home at all. It's for the people. Because they don't give up any facts. There's no facts there.
No, they rarely talk. I mean, Sway is he's really smart, so he always does a lot of,
you know, legendary.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Break. Right back. Bennington. It's the Bennington Show. And during the break, we're having a big surprise party for the interns. This is the last intern day. Hard Rock Johnny has came here, and he's put together an unbelievable Cinco de Mayo feast for us. I have eaten so much guacamole and done so many tequila shots. I only do it just one day a year.
Everyone gets one day.
Yeah. Today, everybody's Mexican. But thank you to the interns. What a great semester you guys had.
Great job.
Yes.
Around the World, Greg, and of course, the future rock star who's lighting up the world right now.
Right, like a dog.
Like a dog.
I only eat food from Hard Rock Cafe.
Nice.
That's how much of a rock
That's
star.
good. One day we'll
That
have your
is true.
famous pants.
Dude, you ought to take his pants down for when it happens. You can get them
Seriously.
cheap now.
have to go
I
in.
can get you those pants for $750.
Sold.
Connor,
So walk home in your underwear.
Take your pants off, Connor.
The times Chris said that.
I'm still an intern. You're not allowed to do that to me yet.
That's true. That's true. There's boundaries.
Don't pull that audio.
Around the World, Greg, thank you so much for everything, man.
No problem, yeah.
What was, who was the, by the way, the Maria Bamford is playing at 2
p.m. today.
2 p.m. today, and it's fantastic, and it's fun, it's crazy. But who was the employee that you felt like, oh, you really connected with and learned the most from?
Oh, probably Vito.
Vito.
Aww.
Vito is the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy. He's the guy where basically Chris used to be.
Yeah. He's kind of the guy behind the guy behind the guy.
He's
You know
like
what I
the
mean?
guy that's going to replace Chris guy.
Oh, I don't want that guy to be here.
By the way, when Bamford was talking about all of her anxieties, I had to settle Chris down today before.
I didn't think I needed settling down.
Always.
She brings up when you're talking too fast,
Oh,
means
yeah.
that you're having a manic episode.
Really?
And I'm always trying to slow you down when you're all sweaty and crazy before an event. It's before events that you get your nuttiest.
I get pacey. Like, I start pacing hardcore.
But most people pace alone, not in front of people.
Yeah.
So he's walking 3 steps each way in front of me.
Yes.
See, I picked this up as a child when I had anxiety. I would pace in my kitchen. There wasn't a lot of room in the apartment.
Aww.
Now, Hard Rock John, you have produced many shows, right?
Lots.
Do you ever try to act in front of the performer like this could be a disaster? You know? Like,
Never.
it's the performers who are supposed to have anxiety.
Yes.
And the producers who, hey, this is going to go great. We do 1 million of these.
You just hang out and
Yeah.
just kind of, what's the worst thing that can happen?
That's what Chris screamed at me before the show today. What's the worst thing that could happen? What if we forget to roll tape? I go, first of all, we don't roll tape. Okay, you're back in an analog world.
I was freaked out.
And it couldn't have been a more successful situation. Everybody was there.
Well,
and
you
it
know
was a great
why?
crowd,
It's
and everybody-
successful. We had Maria Bamford.
Yes. It was great.
That's all you need to do.
It was already set. Everyone was in a very excited mood this morning.
Yeah.
I was just buzzing because I'm a huge Maria Bamford fan. And Chris looks as though tragedy is about to strike.
It's
and I'm
focus.
like,
I see it as focus.
no.
Focus means you're slowing down, not running around like a crazy person. The only time I ever saw anybody act like you, it was a friend of mine is screaming, "Where are we going to bury the body?" And I'm like, "Look, man, look, you better fucking settle down, or I'm going to be digging 2 holes."
It's good producing.
Because you can't trust that guy. You know, he's going to be a motor mouth after.
Absolutely.
Don't tell anybody, but me and Ron killed someone.
Ooh.
You can't tell anybody. That is the thing about crime that cops know, is that people feel the need to tell other people. And it's the other people who turn them in, like their friends or their cousins.
Yeah. That's why you can only tell like one trusted person.
Dude, you can't tell anybody.
No, you tell yourself.
You
That's
take it to the fucking grave.
Oh.
You just broke the cardinal rule of being a criminal.
You're going to get us busted.
Who
Gail.
are you going to tell?
I'd tell you.
No.
Why?
No.
I wouldn't tell Chris.
You can tell me anything.
I wouldn't tell Vito because I think he has
All right. If you
guilty
held
conscience.
up a bank, right, and you
Yeah.
got away with it, and you came and told me, I'd go kill the 2 other guys because I can't trust them. You just got your friends killed, is what I'm saying to you.
Did you get their money at least?
You can only tell 3 people, and that's it, or 4. You're like,
Right.
if they're married.
Just your besties,
Look,
couple close friends.
if you're telling your friends, you're also telling their wives. Because guys say women talk too much, but every guy tells their wife. You know?
Every guy.
Every guy does that.
So
The guy's like, we're dealing a lot of coke right now. What are you fucking doing? What are you doing? I said, it's my wife, and my mom took a vow. Give me shit.
and in turn, I would never tell someone something that I wouldn't assume that they would tell their spouse.
Exactly.
Like I would never say, "Hey, I need to confide in you in this thing, but do me a favor, don't tell your wife or your husband." That I wouldn't even ask that of
No,
someone.
you were just like, I'm telling the two of them.
Yeah, like, you have to decide if you trust a couple, not if you trust one person in a couple.
You know, then the wife tells the mother, and
She's like, I tell my mom everything.
Right.
But I told Chris something in confidence. He put it in a group email.
Like BCC'd you.
What's B for in that?
It's blind CC, so no one can see that you're CC'd on the email.
Luckily for me, I don't read emails. I look at the heading. You know, that's weird. And I'll go like this. Chris, call Don. Something's going on somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know whether we're off for the next 7 weeks.
I'm going to assume, yeah.
Yeah. So should we take the day off? Is that the best thing to do right now? Did you guys already go through all those candies?
No, we have not. No.
Beth, who brought the candies, was at the thing today, too. And I want Johnny just to see these candies. I know you don't like the candy anymore. But this is a specialty Fort Myers candy. It's as pretty. It's like eating butterflies.
They're so pretty.
Talking about them yesterday. It sounds like you don't want to eat them because they're so pretty.
Yes. And then we started eating them today because they were so pretty. We gave it a day.
All beautiful things must die.
Yes. I did the same way that Chris does with underage boys. I give it a day before I act on it.
No pet stuff with me.
Chris, how did you get the reputation of being a pet?
I never started. I don't know, because I like of-age women. I like women 18 above, and that's what I like.
And what about kids?
I don't like children.
You have unwanted thoughts. I learned this from Maria Bamford.
You do.
It's better if you express them, and I think that you put it in a tape recorder and then you listen to that tape.
I'm not having these
Just
unwanted
say
thoughts.
it aloud once, and then you'll know that's your fear.
Okay.
And then you just keep saying it.
All right, so like the fear of like banging kids, like.
That's your fear?
Like, no, tell me fear. No.
Is there a clinical name
But
for that?
you have a fear that they'll tell.
All right, this is I have a fear that, like, if I'm hanging out in a room, like even one child, right, they'll just, and I'm not touching them or doing anything inappropriate, I'm just being a person, they'll lie and say, that man did something to me, and that no one's going to believe me.
No, I wouldn't. I swear to you, that kid could be the worst liar ever, and I'd still lock you up.
I'm fucking sunk if a kid comes out against me.
Isn't that candy beautiful?
That's not candy.
It is candy.
That is.
It looks like glass.
It's a specialty place from Fort Myers where she lives now. What's the name of it? It should be on the
Norman
bottom.
Love.
What's that?
Norman Love.
Crazy looking.
Didn't Norman Love do Spirit in the Sky? Wasn't that him?
That is gorgeous.
Actually, this is a good question for Connor. Why there are certain songs that you think to yourself, it's not a great song, and yet you sing along with it every single time? Spirit in the Sky is one of those songs.
Yeah, it's like an earworm.
I can't fucking stop.
That's why they are on the 70s music compilations and all that stuff.
The 70s were filled with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason, Ride Captain Ride will get into your fucking... It's not a good song.
No.
But I'll be like this in the car when no one's around. Ride, Captain, ride! I'm like, what am I fucking... Why am I riding with the captain right now? I don't care if he rides. Captains don't ride anyway. They sail. They don't ride their ship. They sail their ship. Why were you doing this? Listen to it.
From the San Francisco Bay.
I don't understand why that works that way. The bridge, the radio channel, the bridge is filled with fucking songs like that. Filled.
Well, you don't want to enjoy it, but you are enjoying it.
Here's my other problem. The bridge is right next to Petty, right?
Right.
So I'm enjoying Petty, and I'm like, I wonder what's on the bridge. And I'll just go over the bridge, and then I ride Captain Ride.
All right, I can tell you a song that is a tremendous amount of guilt, but if it's on, I love it, and I'm fully aware it's not a good song. I will always sing along to Black Velvet and that little boy's smile. Black velvet and that slow southern style. And I'm like, this is terrible. But there's something about that song.
Yeah,
I can't help
stop
it.
You can't help yourself. It is like Chris's unwanted thoughts. You know what I mean? This is what Chris goes through with children.
I don't.
The same thing that I go through with the song. Like that song is going to say that I sang it. But that's almost like an 80s Southern country song. in a weird way.
Black velvet, if you please.
I don't even know what she means by that.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
You know how black velvet is, if you please.
And that little boy's smile?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's Chris.
No, yeah. You're right, Johnny. That's Chris.
No boys, little or large.
You know what I would do if I was prosecuting you? Yeah. I would just let you go up on the stand. I wouldn't ask you a question. I would stay quiet and let your crazy ramblings begin. And then I would look at the fucking jury like, oh.
Just hamming it up?
Oh, yeah. Disgusting.
So I start talking now?
But I actually had a friend like you, and J-Dubs was a producer for me in D.C. He had the same fear as you, and then he would also gag when he ever saw mayonnaise. And I would say to him, J-Dubs, your uncle fucked you in the mouth. You're just blocking this thing.
Yeah.
Something terrible happened to you.
100%. Everyone who hates mayonnaise has been touched. That's
and I
a
would
fact.
always work out occasions where we would leave the studio and we would push a kid in there. And he would come running the fuck out and he'd be all sweating and he would just come out and he would yell, I did nothing. I did nothing.
He's a liar.
And we're going, what are you talking about? But do you think if we called the city and maybe got you to be a substitute teacher for one day with first graders, you could do it?
There's no fucking way I could do that. I would be freaked.
Could you do it for $5,000?
I mean, do I have to, teach? How long? All day? I'm teaching all day?
Yes, you're all day, and everyone has their shirts off.
Oh, God. Could I just, not make eye contact and not talk to them?
You're a teacher.
I'm sure you would make eye contact.
I mean, I had to try to take the cash, but it wouldn't go well.
Hold on. Vito's jumping back and forth and raising his arms and flapping around. What is it? What is it, boy? What are you trying to tell me?
We have a special guest on the line right now.
Who's that?
Bob Fonseca.
Whoa! The gentleman who put together what is now America's favorite game show, Bennington Barometer. Bob, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. How you doing, buddies?
Cool.
I don't mean to crash your Cinco de Mayo party. God knows we're going to be having some down here in Austin, but I just wanted to thank you guys for a great week of radio and for, who knew this guy from Rome, New York would be part of an international phenomenon that is the Bennington Barometer, and I want to thank you so much.
Dude, you're the creator, you're the genius behind it all, and while we're doing this, I want to thank you guys for the way you were in Austin. It was amazing, amazing time.
Well, we've been fans, as you know, we talked, but we've been fans for so long, and I've been fans for so long, and fan for so long, and I got to tell Chris, too, yesterday's sounder was next level shit. That was amazing.
That was all Vito, I believe.
Yeah.
That's the guy
Vito?
replacing Chris,
right,
yeah.
My bad.
No. And we got more.
My bad.
Oh, you've got an updated
God.
one?
I've got an updated one.
All right, well, let's hear it while Bob's on the...
no, I don't know if I can handle it.
On the phone. Do I have to put him on hold so we can hear it? I'll put you on hold for a second and then come back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise out of your seats and get ready for the greatest single game of all time. From the creative mind of Bob Fonseca, co-host of the Dudley and Bob with Matt show on KLBJ, the Rock of Austin. You may know him from various movie roles. Brothers, Dogs and God, Totally Baked, and Spy Kids 3D. Game over. Bob loves Bruce Springsteen, Whataburger, and Ron Bennington. If you're going to follow him on Twitter, it's at Bob Fonseca. Bob went to Wizard World in 2016 in Austin. There, he took a photo with Danny Trejo. If Bob Fonseca uses hot sauce, it's Roy Ito's. Bob describes himself as America's favorite sidekick, ultimate pitchman, artist, and designer. Bob Fonseca single-handedly created this game to see who really knows Ron Bennington. Bob Fonseca presents the Bennington Barometer.
Again, a little too subtle and too short for me.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. Listen, but you missed some stuff. I was also in the pilot of Friday Night Lights.
Wow.
Shit.
I
My
once
notes.
introduced Stevie Ray Vaughan to Prince.
Wow.
And I'm in the Texas Radio Hall of Fame. So if you could work that stuff in, I think you've got...
Yes.
I feel like we're just at the beginning of this anyway, Bob. By the way, introducing Stevie Ray Vaughan to Prince, that's a highlight for me.
When I come up to New York, if I ever get back to New York, I will tell you that story.
Great.
It's a long story. It's like a 3-part story, and it has a great ending. But it actually happened, and people ask me to tell it all the time. But listen, I didn't want to, bust up your party. I was like, I told the guys on the show today. I said, I feel like a guy that just met a new girl, and I don't know. I'm not sure when to call. Like when it's appropriate to call, like or it's swingers. It's like the 2-day rule, or what did I do? So, but I just wanted to thank you because my family and my wife and everybody, we've been driving around town just enjoying the shit out of what you guys are doing. And, I've got kind of sidekick disease on my show where, you know what it's like, Chris, right? The sidekick disease where you feel underappreciated. And you guys have
Chris, do you understand that?
You guys have made my week.
Well, thank you so much, my man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother.
All right, peace.
All right, have a good one.
So, what are you saying? Is Chris, you feel fucking underappreciated, do you?
Never said
That's what
that.
you said.
You know what? Maybe you feel unappreciated if that fucking check stops showing up for a while. You like that?
No.
No, because I don't like that reputation. I like to say I appreciate everybody.
You
And
do.
a prick like you is going to say something like that now.
Not my words, Ron.
Sounds like it was, though.
Sounded like it.
Johnny, you're an Austin guy, right? You've been in Austin.
I've never been to Austin.
Come with us to Moon Tower next year.
Done. I'm in.
You don't even have a Hard Rock in Austin, do you?
Yeah, I think there is.
You do? There's a Hard Rock
There is.
everywhere.
Sam knows.
I went to the Hard Rock Upper Chichester a couple days ago. Smaller. I mean, it's smaller. And most of the stuff is just George Thorogood.
Less pants or
Yeah. Shorts. It's so small they only put up people's shorts. So there's a lot of Black Flag exhibits. I'm trying to even think of lead singers that would only wear shorts. Him and Eddie Vedder, although Eddie Vedder's shorts were pretty long. Did you see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing?
Yeah, I watched it a couple days ago.
What'd you think? Who did the best performance for you?
I'm so biased because I'm such a Pearl Jam guy. I really thought. I got to tell you though, the best. They were not the best speech.
Yeah.
The Yes speech where there was who said he had the joke in there about his father told him not to go to the strip club because you won't like what you see in there, and I went to the strip club and there was my dad.
Yeah.
That I thought was just randomly weird to be telling.
That's Rick Waitman, who at one point I thought was a silent wizard when I was younger. Only to see him like this crazy old Englishman. But he literally did jokes.
Yeah.
He did the thing of he got the prostate exam, right? And the doctor has his finger in his ass, and he goes, "Now, Mr. Waitman, it's not unusual to get an erection." And Waitman says, "I don't have an erection." And the doctor says, "No, I meant me." And that's what he's not thanking his children or the people who brought him into the business.
Yeah, but that's a weird band. I mean, that whole weird prog rock thing is just strange.
Artist on Instagram taking food porn quite literally is the big thing today, and that was yours, Gail.
Yeah, this is an artist who, she has some erotic photography and gifs, or gifs, as Chris says, of her pleasuring fruit. And it has a strange reaction. I was playing it in the office, and it was interesting. Some people very fascinated, very comfortable with it. Me and Jen totally comfortable.
Right.
Chris and Vito acting like they were actually seeing something vulgar.
Here's a guy fingering a pineapple, which that never even occurred to me, by the way. I never saw that in the pineapple before.
But there's a ton of them. There's a...
Oh.
Well, that one's not as good, but there's a...
Fruit is incredibly erotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very erotic. This is a sort of a money shot here of the strawberry. And so me and Jen were like laughing, and we're like, this is amazing. And they were going, ugh. There's one of the tangerine.
What is that called in the porn world?
Cream pie?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a cream pie situation. So this is I've been hiding in plain sight with this. I never noticed how many fruits that can be fingered. Yes. They're very very womanly looking.
Told me one time outside of a nursery, he said, and this was brilliant, Chris. He said, if it can be fingered, it can be fucked. And I go, I don't know what you mean by that.
Chris, what the fuck does that mean?
First of all,
what the finger does that mean? Say what we're doing here?
I got it.
That was between you and me, Ron.
Oh.
Ew.
I thought you said it. I mean, you said it out loud, so.
But yeah, the guys were acting like they were actually watching porn in front of me and Jen. They're like, this is comfortable for me. We're like, why? It's hilarious that they were being they were all cringing.
Weirded out.
Just felt myself getting excited, so I didn't like watching it with you guys.
And he said now, do you really feel like he was like, I feel like that could get me to a certain
When the one squirted, I was like, that's too much.
There was
it's the pineapple.
I'm going to tell you a weird story. When the microwave was first invented, a lot of young men were microwaving things and having sex with them. Really? A melon, a pumpkin, a cantaloupe, and it just never. I mean, this was the fleshlight before.
Yeah.
I still don't even see the purpose of a fleshlight. You know what I mean?
It's just a pocket pussy.
I know it's just a pocket pussy, but I'm saying a pocket pussy itself.
Yeah.
I don't see the idea for gadgets. And that's my big problem with S&M. Not that you're doing it, but you buy the things and you have to store them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, use your fucking mind.
Clean them.
Yes.
Like that, like you actually have to buy a special cleaning product for your toys.
And I don't want to wake up in the morning and see the hooks there. It's almost like if I left food there the night before. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that was from a different time. I shouldn't see it first thing in the morning.
Because, you know, when you're finished, you're kind of just like, you're ready to get on with your day.
Yes,
and suddenly that looks disgusting what you were just doing. You're like, even if it's with someone you love, you're like, we were just acting quite doggishly.
I know.
Just then. What was that about?
Some of those things I said I didn't necessarily mean, okay? I don't think you're a bitch whore slut. I was just caught up in the moment. Now,
I actually appreciate you, and I think that you are a lovely person.
I had read this, that the more successful the woman, the more degrading sex that they like, the more of a release that is. And we've known this before with men. The guys that like to be spanked are normally CEOs and people, you know.
Yeah.
It's a stress release. But now, since I read that, every time I meet a successful woman, I'm just like, gotcha.
Got it.
I know what
Yeah.
Now I get it.
But yeah, it is true because it's both. I mean, look at every, like, politician sex scandal is always like, what? Always.
Yes,
it's like
they always need.
Because if you are putting on a front for the world,
right.
You're going to have to cash that somehow, you know?
I'm a naughty bastard. You know, the English love that. You know, they love to wear stockings and get a fucking heel in their asshole. They need that. What
British.
We need to do is not judge other people. That's what we need to do.
We need to keep it open.
Yes. And we're talking about our anuses when we say that.
Everyone ass is open.
You know,
it's 2017.
I tend to, if I judge anyone, I tend to judge teenagers with their push, come and get out. Like, please. Try to hold on.
Yeah.
You know, get something going.
Well, they're excited.
And I'm done. I literally, there's so many girls I could call from 10th grade and go, look, I I don't want you to remember me that way.
That's not who I am now.
Yeah.
I've learned
now.
a lot.
Yes.
I've learned so much.
Yes. So Vito, this excited you, and Chris, this disgusted you.
Weirded out.
Okay, just weirded out, frightened you.
Yeah. It never occurred to me, and then just seeing it one after another.
I will say this: it's amazing to me how many places the vagina shows up in nature.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And a lot of times they in old times they would celebrate that, and that would be done. And now we don't realize how much it shows up in advertising and all, because we don't see signs. We don't hold up these talisman that way.
In fact, so there's a period panty that's out called Thinks. I think they're called Thinks, and they had ads that they were trying to run in the subway. And, they said, the MTA said, oh, this is actually too inappropriate for us. And then they had to go back and be like, really? Well, let's look at this one for, like, breast enhancements. Let's look at these ladies in bikinis. And all it was a similar idea. They had, like, it's like a blood orange. Mm-hmm. And it's just a picture of a blood orange. And they're like, wear these period panties. And they're like, that is too much for us. And they fought back, and eventually they're like, fine, we'll put it up in the subway. But because they were like acting like they were going to do some sort of lawsuit or something. But it is crazy that why would that be more sexual to you?
Here's the thing: we only like the fantasy idea of the body, not the actual natural function, the human function of a body. Disgust us. Mm-hmm. We're horrified by it.
Yes. And, we've still not gotten to the place where we're comfortable about talking about the fact that women have periods. Add that to the
I'm
mix.
as comfortable as any Muslim is when it comes to that. I'm willing to build a tent in the backyard to let the women, and scary how young they are now, girls, go out there and have their periods.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't they say it's like the hormones and chicken and everything?
Yeah.
It's like
they say that, but we haven't changed the chicken at all. The chicken stays that way. You know why?
Why?
Tastes so good with all those hormones.
They get so big.
But yes, now that young girls are becoming women at 8 and 9, you can see why a Chris Stanley is on the prowl.
I get it.
I'm on the prowl for children.
I don't condone it, but I understand where you're coming
right.
from.
We don't have, it's like drug addiction. You don't condone it, but damn, does that feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once that fucking thing kicks in.
I'm not an addict for kids, sexually.
Why would you say it?
In what way, then?
Anyway, I'm not addicted to children.
Johnny, would you like to play the Bennington barometer?
Would love to.
I think you would be the first person outside of the show members to play this, right? Use yesterday's because we already heard today's.
Yeah, let's do a yesterday setup.
Today's, I'm going to tell you the truth, it was a tad long for me. But I do want to get a new one that get all the cool stuff in it.
From the creative mind of Bob Fonseca of the Dudley and Bob with Matt Show, and movies like Brothers, Dogs, and God, Totally Baked, and Spy Kids 3D, Game Over, comes one of the single greatest games of all time. How well do you know Ron Bennington? Because it's time for you to play. Pick up a paddle and decide, will you win or will you lose? Bob Fonseca presents the Bennington Barometer.
That one seems a little in the pocket, but I would have liked to have heard about Prince.
Yeah.
All those notes have been taken. Drawing board will be completed.
And what do I got to do to get into the Texas Radio Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I now know
quite an honor.
I now know 2 people in that. Hall of
Really?
Fame. Yeah. The other guy's name I can't remember. But I know him a long time ago. But I was jealous then, and I'm jealous now. All right, who wants to play? You want to?
I have one to start.
Okay, good.
All right. So
Bennington barometer.
Bennington barometer.
Bob Fonseca presents the Bennington Barometer.
It's exciting.
¡Gol de Zapata, qué jugador!
What?
That does make sense to me.
Okay, I
though.
got it.
Yeah.
All right, Bennington barometer.
Bennington barometer.
Ron Bennington, please choose between Coltrane and Miles Davis.
Bum 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 bum. By the way, there's no better nickname than the Train. You know what I mean? And I do like a nickname. Miles Davis.
No match.
How did you pick Train?
Match.
I do love Coltrane now.
The nickname. When you brought that up, I was going B, and I switched to A.
You're impressionable. You are very impressionable.
I'm sorry.
Let's suppose it was going to be Train.
I cheated myself out of this thing.
He's literally the reason that they make the rule that like people can say who to vote for right outside of the polls. Because like every time I heard that, I was like, "Who's deciding 30 seconds before?" Chris. Chris is the one who's just like, "Oh, I just saw Trump's side."
Shit. I gotta go Trump.
I have a Bennington barometer.
Vito. Adding to the show.
What?
Bennington barometer.
Today's your last day, too, with the intern day, right?
I'm leaving with them?
Yes. You're still an intern, right?
No. I did my internship quite a while ago.
I understand that you're the one who's been working hand in hand with Roland.
Yeah.
Please tell him how much I appreciated that Maria Bamford today. That was fantastic.
I will talk to him later.
Yeah.
All right.
And the Eddie Izzard that's coming up.
That's going to be awesome.
Well, I wasn't even supposed to announce that. Take this out. Just stop time itself. Look, he looked back like it could be done.
He
looked at an empty phone bank.
Did he just turn to Jen?
Jen, get that done. You heard him. Go ahead, Bennington barometer.
Bob Fonseca's Bennington Barometer.
Sirius XM channel Bennington barometer. Underground Garage or Outlaw Country.
Ooh.
Hardest one yet. Hardest one yet. I have to choose between Underground Garage and Outlaw Country.
I'm locked in.
So many reasons to do both. So many reasons. All right, I'm ready. I choose Outlaw Country. And all right, Vito got
Vito
it.
and I.
Look, here's my only reasoning. This is my only reasoning. Two great stations. I'm more likely to learn about a new act on Outlaw Country than I am Underground Garage. You're disagreeing with me.
A little bit, yeah. At least Steven does the newest song.
Can I just tell you something? These are sister stations.
Yeah. Same program.
Yeah, Jeremy's on both. They're both great. But I'm always going, who the fuck is this guy? By the way, it's always easier for me to like a new person more than it is to like a new band. Sometimes the band I have to be hit a couple times with it. I don't even know why that is. I feel bad that I broke hearts in here. I really felt like
that's the thing. That happens with the Bennington barometer.
Connor's balling his fist up because you're straight Underground Garage.
Yeah, I know. I like Outlaw Country too. I listened to it a couple of times. I like Steve Earle and stuff like that. He's kind of in that world. But I thought you were going to go with my man, Little Steven.
This is not an anti-Little Steven at all.
I think it is.
I'm not even talking about his show. I'm talking about overall. I'm driving down the road. I just wanted to say, where would I check first? And I check Outlaw Country first. It's really weird. This is weird about Sirius is how many channels I never check at all. Because I have too many good channels to get to, you know? I've never been to Hair Nation. I understand it seems like it might be fantastic there. Yeah, no, I don't go to Hair Nation. I spend very little time on Buffett Land.
Don't blame you.
But there is, I think it's New Shoes Radio is very close to Buffett.
What's New Shoes Radio?
I think it's Chesky, what's his name?
Kenny Chesney.
Kenny Chesky, who was a chess player out of Russia
Oh, nice.
for many, many
Okay.
years.
I have to check that out.
And he's more likely, he'll throw in some like rock tunes in there, you know? Like, I don't know where you might get a log against Messina. I don't know. I mean, listen's crazy today. It's No Shoes Radio. We should do, and you know where I'm because I'm very less likely to go to any other decade channel other than, 80s. I'll always go to 80s. You know why? Martha. If Martha's in, I'm in. It's that simple.
I don't blame you. Martha's great.
She makes me feel good. She takes away my stress. All right, we're going to do one more Bennington barometer because I feel like I'm hurting people today. You know what I mean? Like, we're not enjoying this like we were days before.
I was shocked.
And of course, you know nothing about me.
I
don't know
Have you
if
ever
you've even gotten one right.
I haven't. Not in days.
We've only played it for days. But I remember the first time I had to play this in front of their audience in Austin, and I'm like, this feels like a lot of pressure on me. And then they gave me Kinnison and Hicks, and I'm in Texas, and I could tell that I was in a no-win situation.
Right.
Believe me, I've woken up a couple times going, should I have taken Kinnison? I don't know. I don't know. It's just Mitchell Walters would be hurt. Mitchell and I aren't friends anymore because they picked Hicks.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I wish
And
that
because he owes me a lot of money, he won't pay back. Did you find out who we're going with, Patch? Is who we're going with tomorrow? A lot of people are sending me in stuff. Was it Sunday or Saturday?
It's Saturday. Saturday at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
Seems like it's not as big this year.
No,
Yeah.
well, the Triple Crown happened, and I think it hurt horse racing.
It wasn't a big deal.
It's a shitty field this year too.
Is
Chris
it?
and I were talking about it before you came in. It's kind of weak. It's a bit of a weak field.
Who's the favorite? McCracken?
McCracken's going to be your favorite.
What about Patches?
Patch only got one eye.
Yeah, that's what I like about him.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
I'm dependent on him, son.
9-1 horse.
Bob Fonseca presents the Bennington Barometer.
Rain's here. No, you're finally hearing some stuff that you love, Chris. You're hearing some production that you love.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I don't know what the train has to do with the Bennington Barometer.
It's bringing barometers into a new town.
Barometer
How do you
has
not get that?
arrived.
A train full of barometers is here.
Now I understand. Great work.
Good. All right, who's doing this one?
All right. Philly Ballers.
Well, let me just say this. Look how Vito's
I know.
taken.
I was gonna go, but I'm happy for him to go. Go
This
ahead.
is the place I always wanted to see Chris, is being outgoing. Well, I got it, but I got it in Vito.
Philly Ballers. Julius Erving or Wilt Chamberlain?
One of these gentlemen scored 100 points in one game on a game that was not recorded for TV, even though it happened in the 60s. And it didn't even take place in their home court. I believe it happened in Hershey, Pennsylvania, at a small gym there. Wilt Chamberlain scores 100 points. No one's even come close. No one's come within 15 points, I think, of that. It's an amazing feat. And free three-point shot. There was no three-pointers in that game. And very few free throws, since he couldn't really shoot free throws. And then Dr. J taught Americans how to jump with a basketball. Are we ready?
I'm locked in.
Lock it in. This one is, and give me the order again.
Julius Erving or Wilt Chamberlain?
This one is not even close. The doctor is in the house. Dr. J.
No match.
No match for me.
And people always say to me, when you interview, you went, Wilt, the stilt?
Yeah.
When, well, first of all, he's dead, which makes me like him. But when I interviewed Dr. J, it was that one of the few times that I felt like, holy fucking shit, I'm talking right now. While I'm talking, I'm having those thoughts. That's Dr. fucking J right now. Wish I could rub this in Robbie Todd's fucking face. Stuffy Banko won't believe this. When they did, people just don't understand. And, you know, when he played with the Nets first, a lot of those games weren't recorded because it was that thing. and you would only catch pictures of him every once in a while. But this man was fucking flying. And I honestly believe that when Dr. J came to Philadelphia, and I can't prove this, I think it chilled out a lot of the natural race hate that people in Philadelphia have for each other. Because they could unite around the fact that we got the good doctor. Dr. J, there you are. You're out there somewhere right now. Did you see the documentary on him? He's in his, is he almost 70 or something like that?
He's in his 60s. But
late 60s. Stuffs a basketball.
It's crazy.
It's fucking dumb. Great. That entire thing. When he played in, I guess it's in the Bronx that they would have those street games. I can't think of the name of the park.
Or Harlem, like Rutgers Park.
I think it was Rutgers Park. You're correct. So they're showing this, and this is back in the 70s. He was like a high school and college player. He's playing at a regular park. Thousands and thousands of people are watching guys play a street game in their regular clothes. They're hanging on out of windows or on fire escapes. They've climbed trees to watch these guys play ball. We'll never have that kind of natural, or there'll never be something done for free that you can make money at, right? There was no one in charge of this other than the kids were playing, and then people said, do you know Julius Serving is coming in to play this game? He's going to be there at 2 o'clock. And people were just fucking all over. Look, there's pictures of it.
Just packed out.
In just a regular
surface
park.
is covered with humans.
Yeah. And that kind of shit is, to me, just, it makes me like human beings for a change. You know what I mean? Just the fact that they would go, there's something beautiful happening in the park. Let's grab the kids and everybody go there. It's just great. So that's why Dr. J, who was also, a lot of people don't know this, first man to step foot on the moon.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was him?
Yeah. That's why it's such a big footprint. Bop, 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 bop. We got a break here, right, Chris?
Yeah, we have a break.
Ray Bamford coming up at 2 o'clock. You're going to just love her as much as we did. By the way, when I first met her, I told her that you were the one that turned me on to them. And then I start to realize how true that is for so many comedians.
Yeah.
That between you and your brother, I was second in the family to know about him.
This was an unmasked that I've been looking forward to for a really, really long time. So I was downright giddy. And it was such a fun time. She's so funny.
She talks a lot about mental illness, and I learned a lot from her.
Yeah,
talking about it. I'm just hoping I didn't catch anything. That's why I don't like to be around anyone suffering from any disease, mental or physical. And that's why I was thrown out of medical school. I just wouldn't go in the room with them. I tried to talk to them through glass. I said I saw a movie called Boy in the Bubble when I was a young man, starring the great John Travolta. Why don't we break here, and during the break, can we talk about Dish for a little bit?
Yeah, okay, finally.
By the way, I like the fact that the dish itself, you got your own kind of satellite dish.
Yeah.
You know, you're not seeing that as much anymore. Let's break right back. Bennington. Love her, and we're looking for our bug jewelry. And our friend Nicole, who we also saw in Austin, has written a piece on the Hulu up front. That's up on the iBang today. Another person said, what song would you pick? And Johnny, I'm going to let you to be the first to say this. What song would you pick to open the new Beatles channel on Sirius XM? And I want everybody to think about that.
The first one that popped into my mind for some odd reason is Strawberry Fields Forever.
Strawberry Fields Forever.
I don't know why.
Connor, what would you pick?
I would do an early one. Start it off and do it in chronological order.
My God, the first song, record it all the way up to the last song.
Yeah, the first day I would just play every song in order.
In order.
Yeah.
Around the World, what would you pick for it?
Hard Day's Night.
The winning answer for me is Hard Day's Night.
Oh.
That, for me, I don't know whether they're going to do it, but that chord, that chord is one of the most exciting moments in rock history, and it's always what I think of with the Beatles.
Yeah.
You got it, Chris? Just think if you were opening it this way. And sincerely, one of the funniest movies ever done, if you've never seen it before. Everybody, all the suits are excited about it, and I wrote down about the Beatles and all their connections with the whole catalog. Now they're all very excited about it. Matter of fact, Leeds said to me, hey, did the band Leeds recording thing by the Beatles? We can probably get them on there.
Yeah, we tried real quickly, and we're like, I don't know if it's working. We got to practice.
Like a dog. Yeah, this is from their the song "Like a Dog." Yeah, what would you have picked?
I would pick something early as well. I think something light and poppy, like "Love Me Do" or something.
I honestly had "Love Me Do" as the other song for me. I don't know what it is about that, but that song has always slayed me too. It's so simple, but it's just fucking great. Are you grabbing that, Chris, or is that something I'm stupid about? No, tell me if I'm stupid.
No, it's because I said it. That's why.
Is that back to that again?
No.
Right. This is so great. You know, when I was younger, I was always into the late psychedelic Beatles on, and I had to go back to
like
the
poppy,
early stuff. Yeah, I brought this up because it's something that Gail and I cut for the Beatles. But in the 70s, there used to be this thing called the Blue Album, which was all the greatest hits from post, I guess, 66, and the Red Album, all the greatest hits, Blue. And we never listened to the Red Album. But we listened to the Blue Album every day. And another thing, I don't think people get this. In the 70s, there was constant rumors that the Beatles were getting back together for something.
Really?
So, I mean, we were sure they were getting back together because none of us had seen any of the Beatles, you know. Everybody had only really... George had done some stuff, but, you know, your chances were that we would see Wings, right? Which was a little, you know, like, ugh. But, you know what I mean? It's just not the Beatles.
No.
But we were really sure that the Beatles were going to get back together. And then once John died, that was like the second horrible thought that went into your mind. I'm never going to see the Beatles.
So sad.
Yeah. First horrible thought was they just interrupted Monday Night Football. Not true. But, and I remember when I started in radio, my first big radio stunt was we are reuniting the Beatles. And I said we were putting them on a raft, and we're calling it Beatles on the Beach. We're selling the beach. The crowd will be in the beach, and the Beatles will be playing on a raft, and we're surrounding that with sharks. So if anybody tries to fucking swim out, they're going to be killed by sharks. And we would call around to like George Harrison's office and all, and they would be very angry with us. And then we would call Elvis Costello, like we really like him to fill in, and we had songs written about it and shit. The only person who said yes, he would do it, was Pete Best, the original drummer. He's like, yeah, of course, I'd love to.
I'm there.
I'd love to.
And
None
how do
of
we
those
get
guys.
out to the raft? Or you
I don't
guys will
know
take
what
care of
he
it?
did to those guys, but like he was like a mailman. And no one could have said, you know what? What if we all just throw a mill towards this fucker, right?
Yeah, why not?
He was there in the beginning. Because he had a James Dean haircut. You know what I mean? Fucking hated him for that. Chris, what would you start the Beatles station with?
I want to hold your hand.
Are you saying that to a child, or are you saying that?
No, it's the Beatles
Because
song.
it's coming off creepy the way you say
Yeah.
it.
And if I wasn't referencing the song, it'd be to a woman of age, 18 years of old.
Now,
he
did
pulled
you
his
ever hear
own
back
songs,
from
huh?
the girl that you had whiskey dick with?
No, I think that's over and done with.
And predicted immediately by Gail.
Well,
Thank you.
congratulations.
It was.
I know the ladies, and they like a working dick.
It was. You know why? Because it also makes it feel like it's their fault. Like any woman will feel like I'm so
100%.
hideous that he couldn't even get an erection.
That makes me feel even worse.
Which actually gives more anxiety to the whiskey dicker.
Yeah. The two of you are just anxious,
Yeah.
wringing your hands. No fun is being had.
A friend of mine couldn't get an erection with a woman, and he hung himself with a belt.
Oh, God.
And we all thought he went out the right way. The fact that you went on
With honor.
comfortable with it, that didn't even bother you?
Yeah, and then he was like, I will get a call back. Like,
Yes.
he thought he was going to get a call
Yeah,
back.
I thought I was.
Never in a million years.
It's over now. I think I'm probably blocked.
Your dick
You're
didn't
blocked
work.
somewhere in your fucking balls.
Your dick didn't work, and then you screamed at a cab driver. So
Well, the cab driver was crushing my fingers.
And what, his asshole?
No.
Vito, what would you pick?
I would pick "Oh Darling."
Oh, darling.
That's my favorite Beatles song, and I think it's a nice, slow way to start.
Yes. I don't know whether we want to start slow or you want to start big. It's an exciting day. Oh, but did I tell you this? I didn't tell you this, Gail. So while we're in there in the elevator, he offers me and you a chance to come in and do a takeover and play our favorite Beatles songs.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
I said I'm going to be playing mainly Stone songs because I'm a rocker. But I might try to get in some John, solo work. And I'm not playing anything, but no, I'm only kidding.
We're just playing Plastic Ono Band.
No problem. I love Plastic Ono
You don't
Band.
like
them?
What? Are you serious? I was on a kick like a couple months ago where that's all I was listening to.
Better Things uses that song,
Yeah.
Mother. It's fucking great. You just hate any woman that's going out with a band guy.
That's not really true.
Yeah.
I actually like Yoko.
I love Yoko.
Love Yoko.
I met her once. It was very awkward and diminutive and so sweet and nice.
I thought she was just magic when I met her. And this was, 2 years ago? And we're talking about so many things. I just felt like I knew her my whole life anyway because it's Yoko. And then at the end, you do that one awkward thing that you wish you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I just point at her crotch and go, is that where John's penis went? Right in there like this? You don't think I could put my penis where his penis was. When I was a shock jocker, McCartney was doing a big tour. And I didn't, one of the shows was in Orlando before he came to Tampa. And guys from my radio station got to be a couple of minutes with him. And they said, would you just say something like, this is Paul McCartney, and I listen to Ron and Ron anytime I'm in Tampa. And he says, wait a minute, isn't that the guys who've been playing the Linda tape? No, I won't fucking do anything for them. And they told me about it, right? Because we were somebody had taken up the soundboard, just Linda singing Hey Jude, and it's like, no. It was just, when they do. And I fucking immediately called my brother up and I go, guess who knows who I am? Paul fucking McCartney hates me. And you go, dude, you're fucking doing great. Can't believe it. I don't know how you fucking pulled that off. Hey, Nick, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Imagine starting the station off with Revolution with that screen right at the beginning of the song.
Yeah, that would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Nick, you're a lot better off than that "Oh Darling" thing that came up just a couple moments ago.
Who's programming it?
That I don't know. I know it's done with Apple Music, blah, blah, blah. So I will tell you they're taking it. I didn't even know that the word was out on it yet.
Yeah, it was on the. I heard on the air a couple days ago.
Good,
advertisement.
because when they first brought up for us to do a couple of things, I don't fucking say this to anybody. I want you to tell your favorite fucking Beatles memory, but don't fucking say it to anyone. And I'm just like, all right, easy. The Beatles song that I like. And I hate to say this out loud. Maria Bamford coming up, and we got something to give out for, I forget what we call it, Super Tweeter?
Super Tweet.
Yeah.
It's a signed unmasked poster, Maria Bamford's unmasked poster. It's Twitter, at Maria Bamfoo. Maria Bamfoo is her Twitter.
All right, so you're going to make sure we get that right. I guess there's a lot of Bamfords, huh?
Yeah.
I'd hate to have a common name like that.
Like one of the common people.
Yeah. You want to live like common people. Maybe I would open up the Beatles thing with that.
Like common people, like you.
But now we're getting so many stations now that are just dedicated to one artist.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
We could possibly get a lead station.
You know,
Sure. Let's make it happen.
I mean, it'll take a while. I mean, there'll be a lot of other bands in front. Is there a band left? I mean, I guess the Stone Station would make total. Dylan.
Who? Yeah, them.
Sorry. That would be great. Gloria. TV Sheets. Vito, who would it be for you? Who would it be?
I'd like a Van Halen station.
They can't even get together to make an album, let alone have a station. Like, they got together and then just did nothing after they got together.
How is there not a Kiss station that they would, just because of the money factor, that, you know, they would do pretty much anything for money?
It's a really, but you want people to listen to this station, not give up their subscription. You really love Kiss, huh?
I do. But I wasn't thinking from a love standpoint. I was just thinking of a pure money grab standpoint from the band.
Well, they never got big radio play anywhere.
No, but Gene would sell anything to
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, like, even if once you get past Rock and Roll All Night, there's not a lot that radio has ever given them. They love that song, though.
That they're a fan of.
Yeah.
That they will play.
Number 2 would probably be Beth. Would be their number 2 radio played song.
Well, that was weird because Beth played on AM, not FM. So AM never goes back and, hey, remember this? Because they just assumed that all their fans hit puberty yesterday.
Last time there was an AM music station out there anyway.
Well, you still have top 40. We have top 40 here. Yeah. Chris's best friend's the top 40 guy.
Ryan Sampson, the Morning Mass Show.
Did they play anything from the past at all, or is it just got to be top 40 this week?
I believe it's all top 40 this week, as far as I know. It's all only new shit.
They'll be like, here's an oldie, Katy Perry. That Katy Perry, huh? She should have her own station.
Yeah. I agree. That old Katy Perry. Cut her hair like Miley Cyrus. That's all I know that's going on with her.
Anytime anyone cuts their hair, I just assume they're depressed. Well, somebody gets their hair done, I go, what's wrong, honey? What happened? So I'm sorry to hear about the Hard Rock in Austin.
R.I.P.
It's terrible.
Johnny, you only wear Hard Rock related outfits. Is there anything that you wear?
A lot of times I don't.
Black Girl's still with you, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think I saw him the other day. I think I saw him there.
Well, he doesn't contact me anymore. Normally he would call me when any black artist died. But I haven't heard from him.
Hasn't been any lately, I guess. He unfortunately doesn't shut up when he sees me.
Oh, if I run into him, he talks constantly.
I tried to go to the bathroom the other day to get away from him, and he stood outside the door while I took a leak, talking to me through
What
the
was he
door.
talking about?
I don't know.
Any trunk?
Vernon Reid?
He's probably, one of those two things. Or could he get his own radio station at Sirius, too? I think he can do that.
Yeah, he can. Because everybody here really thinks the best of him.
They do.
A certain person from here said to me about Earl, I hope he gets the help that he needs. And that's not what you want to hear other people say. No. You know what I mean?
I could tell you that he hasn't. He still needs it.
And
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's the best. Everybody loves him the most. Mm-hmm. There's just one chromosome off with him. That's the problem. A lot of times with Earl, I like to think that he's a black man stuck inside a black man's body. And double chocolate is too much of any taste. You know what I mean? It's just
bitter.
Too much. Is it bitter?
The darkest of chocolates? Yeah, that's bitter.
No, I don't know that. I don't get away from the M&M too much. When I was in Switzerland, I go like this. You got M&Ms? Like, these are the finest chocolate. They come in a hard candy and have an M written on them. Because I don't want the good stuff. Give me the trashiest shit chocolate you have, and I'll put a funnel in my mouth, and I won't even taste it. They'll go directly in, slowly dissolving somewhere in my stomach. Man, what happened with the rain today that it got so fucking crazy?
It was really intense out there.
They said that because of today's rain, there's over 4,000 suicides in Manhattan alone.
Oh, no.
Yeah. To me, Rain in Manhattan always looks ridiculous. Like rain in nature looks, oh, this is natural. But rain in Manhattan, you're like, can't you do this later? Like when we polish the floors at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you ever go out late in Manhattan, you're walking the street, you're just seeing people polish. Constant polishing. You're like, that's a whole world of polishers out there. And they're like, tomorrow I'll polish this floor, the one I'm doing right now. Because people scuff it constantly. But you would think, I mean, what is this? What is this, 2045? Where were we right now?
2017.
Okay. Man, I must have my head.
Way off.
But you think we could put the rain at a different time. This will make you feel probably good, particularly if you are thinking about having children. The little man in the chair who just, we have all decided for whatever reason is the smartest man alive, Stephen Hawking, said yesterday, I give humans about 100 years on this planet before we need to find another. We're down to 100 years before it's fucked up.
That's not good.
No, it's not good.
For the immediate next generation?
I am so happy I'm not going to be born into the future, I can't even begin to tell you. I want nothing to do with it.
We're here for the death rattle.
That's always where I want it to be. I feel we're even half responsible for it. My dad told me to turn off lights. I never did. I just went straight to bed with all the lights on. He would say, I've told you every day for 10 years to turn off the lights when you go to bed. And I go like this. Didn't I? Okay. Now I got it. I couldn't never remember to turn off things. I would go to bed leaving a blender on. Blender, TV would be blasting. Because when I was a younger person, I had some of what I like to call an alcohol problem, where I drank every day. And my parents would say this when I was like 14 or 15. Could you at least sneak into the house like everyone else? Could you stop acting like it's normal to come blasting into this home? And I would say like this, Mom, I'm not a liar. So don't go through my pockets. Let me go through my pockets before you wash anything. Else you're going to be upset and I could end up owing somebody money. So 100 years left. 100 years left.
Not enough. We need more time.
All right, this just came in. Hawking is wrong. This is from David Bowie. We have 5 years. And that's all we've got. Bowie channel. I could run the Bowie channel here.
You could.
Never got to interview Bowie. Talked to him on the phone once.
But you needed that face to face.
Yeah, I wanted to really sit down and talk about his career. That would have been the career highlight. But it is great to know I'll never have a career highlight now. You know what I mean? That's fantastic. Maybe Maria Bamford. That's a career highlight. That's coming up in a couple minutes. And tell people how you can win the Sign Maria Bamford.
The Sign Maria Bamford unmasked poster. Send a super tweet to @MariaBamFoo. Maria Bamfoo is her Twitter account.
And @Bennington.
And @Bennington Show.
Both. So
both.
It'll be up on the Bennington Twitter. We got to find a way to be able to say this where it makes sense.
Yes.
I hate Twitter.
Is it clear, Johnny? What do you think?
I'm clear on that. I think if
the only thing I'm on, if you want to look at me, is my Pinterest page. Right now, I just have cupcakes that I love all over that, and then I have stockings. There's just a long thing of stockings.
Sexy stockings.
Yeah. The only Pinterest that I'll look at is Queen Elizabeth's, our listener, because she'll just have tons of asses.
Yeah, she's
just one ass after another.
Butt enthusiast.
Yeah. And Vito, you were just saying your porn site of choice is Ass Parade?
Ass Parade's one of the few.
Yeah.
One of the many.
But you're an ass man?
I mean, it's ass is up there. There's another website, Big Tits Round Asses.
Yeah.
That kind of gets like all that you need.
You don't worry that's too blunt?
No, I really like that I could just look up Big Tits Round Asses and I can get where I want to go.
What about round tits, big asses?
Do you trust that site?
With the Big Tits Round Asses?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the Bang Bros Network.
I want to trust the site that I know they're going to screen so there's nothing illegal on there.
Oh yeah, this is a major. It's Bang Bros Network, so it's part of a bigger conglomerate.
They're a legit operation. Bang Bros, they've been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They're very trustworthy.
I just don't know if I can trust the Bang Bros.
You can't.
It seems like they're going to do something horrible at some
You
point.
turn around, you're going to find yourself on the Bang Bus.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the Bang Bus. But I want somebody to screen so I'm not looking at a snuff or anything that you can get in trouble for. That's all I want.
That's why Pornhub's a little risky. I mean, because you really there's user uploaded content on there, so you don't know what you're watching.
No, but they take care of it. They screen it.
But I mean, still, you don't know. You can lie about
but
your age.
I think it's up to them to be in charge of it. I mean, they are, they're the biggest.
Yeah. They're the gold standard of streaming pornography on the internet.
You only go to the dark web, right?
The dark web, yeah. But in my younger days, I would go to facedownassupuniversity.com. That was a
on the dark web?
I graduated from there, actually.
With honors, if I do say so, as a proud daddy.
Honored with Come Loudly.
Now we know how we're going to open up the Beatles channel. Joe, Strong Island.
Hey, Guy Bennington, Johnny, how you guys doing?
Okay, I'll call you Johnny then instead of Joe.
No, it's I just wanted to promote the Chris Gethard specials on tomorrow night on HBO at 10:30.
I'll be watching it, and I'm going to be watching his new TV show on True TV. True TV, everything on there is true. I saw his one-man play, and I'm wondering how different or the same it shall be. That's going to be interesting to me.
I was going to say I saw the live taping and the actual one-man play, and it was pretty much similar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was pretty much exactly the same. It was really good, though. It was unbelievable to see what an insight he had on, the mental illness and everything. It was impressive.
Ooh, yeah. He's quite the nut. I like Chris very, very much, and I'm very happy for him. All these good things are happening for his career, and so many bad things have been happening for me at the same time. But that doesn't keep me from being happy with him. What do you got papers out for?
Just the live read for when we go to break.
Oh God, you and your fucking live reads.
Let's put it in front of you.
What's
now.
it about?
Ring.
You just said
It's just ring.
Hello. Hello, who is it, Chris? Believe me, I have talked about Ring.com quite a bit. Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Today, over 1 million people use the amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. Ring knows home security begins at the front door, but it doesn't end there.
So now they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam. Just like Ring's amazing doorbell, Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated camera and floodlight that connects right to your phone with HD video and two-way audio that lets you know the moment anyone steps on your property.
See and speak to visitors. Even set off an alarm right from your phone with Ring's Floodlight Cam. When things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know what it is. Whether you're home or away, the Ring Floodlight Cam lets you keep an eye on your home from anywhere.
Ring Floodlight offers the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and powerful HD camera that puts security in your hands. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit when you go to ring.com/comedy. Ring.com/comedy. That's ring.com/comedy.
I fell into a burning ring of fire, went down, down, down. The flames that went higher, but I had ring.com. And then it was better. It was much better. Johnny, is there any way that you can get me on Eddie Trunk's show? Because he will not book me.
Really?
Yes.
I can't even get him to return a text lately.
Is that right?
It's festival season.
I
for
see
Eddie.
him walk by here, and I go, "Hey, can I get on your show?" And I don't want to say that he mouthed the N-word at me, but it was something. It was definitely something.
I know you don't want to say it, but is that what happened?
I don't think that you're helping your case by making fun of Kiss at all. You know?
Okay.
Just saying
all
that.
Right.
You know, something that is very sensitive to Mr. Trunk.
Beth, here you coming.
He's
Me and the boys be playing all night. Beth, they're gonna find me. I gotta put on my cat makeup.
He's playing his last concert in the United States.
Who is?
Peter Criss. I guess Eddie broke that news a couple days ago.
Here's how Peter Criss, and this is amazing when you think about it. The last concert, he said he's not wearing the makeup and he's going to shave his chest. After all the issues, he's going to shave down. So Kiss goes on without Peter Criss.
A long time ago, yes. They did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's,
and what's he going to do now? What's
gonna-
Catman going to do?
He's going to hang out at his house.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Kitty cat is a group.
And I'm Star Child. And I am the child of the stars.
Kitty cat doesn't like Star Child.
The greatest movie ever. Kiss versus meets Phantom of the Park.
Oh, Jenny. Oh, Jenny.
Oh, it's so good. It's one of the worst movies ever, but so
What's your
good.
favorite Kiss song? Maybe we could talk about that. Maybe me and you can get on that show together.
Yeah, me, you, and Eddie can just talk Kiss. Talking Kiss. That's the title of the show.
Talking Kiss.
Oh, call it Kissing Cousins.
Oh, and then
Kissing
we have
Cousins.
then we literally have to kiss every show.
Every show ends with you
With a
guys
kiss cam.
How?
I never even checked with Connor on this. Are you a Kiss guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
What are
half and half on it. I don't hate them like some people do.
Just Strutter? Just straight Strutter?
I'm just I was made for loving you, man. That's my only song I like.
Made for loving you.
That is pretty
Then
good.
you would like this movie that came out at Christmas where Kiss shows up at the end and does that song. I forget I think it's called "You're Marrying Him" or something stupid like that.
Are they really in the movie?
Yeah. Yes. And there's literally, you can see some cash coming out of their pockets. They had to be paid
It's
cash.
very holy clothing they wear,
Yeah.
so it's hard. You don't know where to hide it.
I know this when they were here, people were so fucking excited. And they wore their full outfits and giant, and I'm like, this is radio. Don't really have to dress up at all in radio. I'm not wearing pants right now, but you can't tell that at home. Around the world, what's your favorite Kiss song?
I was made for loving you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I honestly I only know two songs.
Oh, what is the other one?
The other big one.
The other big one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. The other big one is my favorite.
Yeah, I've forgotten it.
What is your favorite band of all time?
Metallica.
Metallica.
Really?
You know, we saw them, what was it, 2 years ago? 3 years ago at the Apollo. Just a little theater.
So good.
And this is actually one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life. During the concert, I leaned over and pulled one of Fez's earpiece. What do you call that when you're trying not
Plugs?
to hear?
Earplug.
Yeah, I yanked his earplug out. And it was almost like seeing Kennedy get shot. Like he started to go down. He was on one knee and his mouth was foaming. And then while he was doing, because I could tell it physically hurt him. And I was above him going, you know, but it really, and then, I mean, they were so fucking loud in that room.
So loud.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that night was watching Jim Norton run around trying to take pictures with every celebrity that was there. It was a good.
Wasn't Eddie?
Well, the Springsteen show too.
The Springsteen show was tons of celebrities.
He was running
There
like
was
a maniac.
One celebrity, I believe, at the Metallica show.
Eddie Trunk.
Eddie Trunk and Florentine were the big celebrities.
Yeah, that metal show comes to see Metallica.
They were happy that night. You finally saw them happy. You know, because normally those guys have got, like, I don't know.
Eddie.
I like some of the songs, I guess.
Eddie's never been happy. Poor fella.
Please do. Is there? Please get me on that show. I don't know why you won't book me.
He's a prick.
Yeah. I asked this fucking shitting little producer, and I got nothing.
Prick.
Did you just crack a beer?
No.
It sounded like you cracked a
You know it's Friday, right?
Like beers now, right?
After 2, it's his go time.
Should just shotgunned it.
Cinco de Mayo.
What do you got there?
It's just a Schweppes.
Let's see if you can kill a Schweppes.
I can't, man.
Just do it.
Yeah, do it.
Go. Chug, chug,
chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug.
Man, you were almost a hero. What does that feel like?
Bad. The almost part sucks.
You got eye pain from it?
No, I got some fucking water in the eye, right?
That's the first time that since he doesn't shower, he's never had water in his eye before.
It's a weird sensation.
Clean out that pussy beard. Oh, wait, that wasn't on the air. Well, we were all just chanting pussy beard at Chris.
Pussy beard.
Well, because
Pussy beard.
he, the night that he couldn't get whiskey dick, he decides to finish with oral. But he's out till like 7 o'clock in the morning, and he comes in here unshowered.
Yeah.
With this, and you can imagine the hideous woman that would be with him.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oddly enough, you'd think that.
I was made for loving you, baby. Not even Detroit Rock City for you? No?
Nope.
I'm going to go straight Strutter. The only time that I thought they tried.
I agree.
I put that in the New York
Yep.
GPS, and everyone tried to fight with me at first. I'm like, would you just listen to fucking Strutter?
By the way, the new GPS is this Saturday, GPS Ireland, 3 p.m. East on Deep Tracks, Channel 27.
And coming up in just a minute or two, as a matter of fact, it's only 10 minutes late for it now, Maria Bamford unmasked, which was delightful.
It was so great. Everything I dreamed of.
But since both interns said that Vito had the biggest impact on them, Vito, I want you to just say to your interns what the experience was like being with them.
Hey guys, we had some ups, we had some downs, but I think all in out, we wrote it all out together.
Can I just say this? I think it should be done one at a time.
Okay.
They're people.
Thank
you. Oh, don't declare.
Greg, what can I say? You're from Australia. You lived in San Francisco, also in China. You're a world traveler. That's why you got that nickname. It's been a lot of fun watching you grow, learning how to use Adobe Audition, having meetings with you, coming in on 10 a.m., asking me what needs to get done, and me telling you. It's been a lot of fun, man. And I'm gonna miss you.
I want to miss you too, man.
Thank you. Now, Connor.
No, Connor.
You,
Yes.
When I lost Sweet Boy Connor, I really thought I lost a part of me. But I really felt like I got that Sweet Boy part back when you stuck around for another semester. We stole you from another show, and when we did that, it was one of the best days of my life. I remember watching you walk in. You had a leather jacket on. You were wearing those glasses you're wearing right now. And honestly, my heart fluttered. And that was back in the days, you only used to be here till 11 or 12. And then we got so close that you started staying till 1, sometimes 2, maybe even 3.
Sometimes I crash at your place.
Don't say that.
Oh shit, I forgot. I was supposed to not say that.
But
oh, is that right? You're not allowed to.
We're not allowed to talk about a relationship on
Hey, look, nobody's homophobic here, so I'm glad it's happening.
Connor, I'm gonna miss you with all my heart, and
I'll miss you too, Vito.
You become a family member and a part of me.
Whoa.
And I hope the next intern class can live up to what you two have done this semester.
I gotta tell you, if I was Greg, I'd feel a little pissed off.
He's like, I didn't get any
I
invite to the
had to drive back to Jersey a lot.
Well, Connor was your double, so he got like double the thank you and speech.
It's true.
And that was really heartfelt.
Thank you.
And a little homoerotic.
More than a little.
I've given that erotic.
just straight home.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be phobic?
Felt good to get it out. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you're cum.
Semen.
You're talking about his cum.
Yes, he is. All right, Chris. That's a dog pile by the time you got to that. All right, GPS Ireland.
So excited.
Connor actually did all the work that Chris was supposed to do on this. It was honestly fantastic.
So good.
I can't wait to play this. And coming up in a couple of moments, your chance to win a collectible from Maria Bamford.
A signed unmasked poster, Maria Bamford's unmasked poster. To get it, tweet at Maria Bamfoo and at Bennington Show. At Maria Bamfoo, that's Maria's Twitter account, and at Bennington Show.
Won't we have that on our
and they'll
Twitter?
Be at,
so you can, yeah,
they'll be on our Twitter account at Bennington Show.
He said, called it a Twitter account.
Yeah,
Twitter account.
It's crew account. It is. The kids call it a crew. No. Crew us later if you get the chance, kids. So we break first or straight into Maria Bamford?
Break first.
I will break first. We come back. It's Unmasked with Maria Bamford. Listen to that love.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
All right, we need a place for your giant handbag.
Handbag. I purchased it from Target.
Do you still, when you go into Target, is it still like...
Memories?
Yeah. But is it like Beatlemania when you go in there, shoppers are running at you?
Not at all. Not at all. Move along, lady.
Move along. Next. Next.
Yes. Stop going through the piles of sweaters. I just like to put my hands underneath the pile. Anyways, it's a comfort. I love Target is a very comforting place to go to, right? Because the color scheme is so compelling.
You like a nice, compelling color scheme wherever you go.
Yeah, just like, and then everything's so neatly organized and well lit, and it's wonderful. I mean, you guys have been, right?
Sounds like you should still be getting paid for that.
Oh, no. No, I don't know if no, I don't get paid for that. I did advertisements for them for 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm undoing my jacket.
So this is like a really good time to be Maria Bamford, right?
Yes. I mean, yes, I think so. Especially, wow, what a wonderful crowd of lovely people early in the morning in New York City.
Yeah, in New York City, and these are all fans of yours.
I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. I am extremely honored that anyone would show up, because that's a hard thing to be an audience member. People got a lot of other things to do.
Right.
You get a lot of choices when you show up for content.
Yeah. It really is a commitment, though. Like, have you ever gone even to a movie or a play and you're like, oh, this is asking a lot of me?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this whole thing? 2 hours? Yeah, no, I'm very grateful. So,
well, there's always the people who like love you that come to the show, but also their friends that get pulled along.
Right.
Yeah. And I just feel like with your comedy, you need to do a little work before you get there.
Yeah. Of course, I don't, but I'm in. But apparently, yes, sometimes people are not on board. Oh my God, I totally get it, and that's so painful when you have to sit through something. But it's also a wonderful service you can do if you sit through something that your beloved person loves and bear it. For those few minutes, they will appreciate it. My husband likes noise music, and that is like it's like a 747 that has not tuned or practiced. And we have gone to one of those concerts, and I was able to, I think it is an act of love to try to appreciate what your loved one appreciates.
But you're being supportive.
Yes.
You're being supportive.
Yes, I may be the noise music
of
of comedy. If you are, if it is not for you.
Well, when I think of you with comedy, it's hard to even know anybody who did what you did before. Did you have like comedy heroes when you were a kid, or?
I love my dad, and it's actually my family's always. I feel like I love how funny they are. We'd always make each other laugh, and but I also watched SNL. And
what was your introduction season? What was the cast when you started watching it?
I think it was, and I'm not going to remember the names, but Nora Dunn,
Yeah.
and when they did all the singing ladies,
Right.
clang, clang, clang was the anyways, it was.
Yeah.
We watched that with my father, stay up late, and I watched the Carol Burnett show, and I really loved that. That was a great show.
Have you ever met her?
No.
Yeah.
No.
She came in and did my show one time, and the weird thing about Carol Burnett is you feel like you know her. It's not like she's like a big celebrity. It's like your aunt from California just showed up. So I looked at her like that, and right away I saw her go, yeah, I know. You know what I mean? Like, this happens to me all the time. Because people love her on a different level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. And she's a very comforting personality and person. I could see that.
But when you were a kid, did you think, oh, this is a job that maybe I could do one day? Or?
No. No, I did not think that at all.
Yeah.
At least, I didn't think. I thought about theater. I was terrified about what was going to happen later on in life. I did not have a good sense that things were going to be okay. And and I was grateful to find stand up in college and did improv comedy, and I'm just extremely grateful that it has worked out.
Well, that's when you said you were terrified, like everybody here believed you, because you're really good at explaining that, and most people don't bring that up. No, most people wouldn't go, I was terrified right before I walked out on stage.
Oh,
but
yes.
people feel it.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know if and I felt terrified of genuinely just living through life, of like, how do people do it? How are they doing it? What do you do with your hands most of the time? That's what I'm talking about. Now, performing was a relief for me. It felt like this kind of a very comfortable space. I felt very comfortable there. I don't know, and I don't know if it's the brain chemistry that changes when you're in front of a large group of people, but I felt very comfortable, and I think I sought more more chances to do that.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about the brain chemistry, because it's kind of a known fact that you could have a cold and then go up on stage, not have a cold, come back off stage and be sick again.
Yes. Yeah.
How the hell does that even take place?
I don't know. I'm not yet a physician.
But it is funny, like somehow, like, oh, people are paying attention. I feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are looking at me.
Yeah,
Yay.
no, it's very, maybe that's a new form of healthcare, and we need it. Just try stand-up. Stand-up is the new healthcare.
Yeah, instead, you know how they send celebrities to hospitals? Maybe it'd be better to send audiences to hospitals.
Yeah. Forget about your cancer and try to remember some jokes. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I'm so concerned about healthcare. I don't have anything funny to say about it. I'm sorry.
No one does.
Okay, yeah, it's just
that's
terrible.
The beauty of it. Yeah, that's the unwritten joke right now.
It, yeah.
But people forget that we just keep going through things. I know some of this stuff seems crazy, but we make it through.
We make it through, yeah. But then it's when does it become? Oh, you need to lay your body down in front of something.
Right.
Like, is someone gonna conscript me? Like just tell me when I need to put on my pussy hat and start armor up. Like it feels like the banality of evil. Like how are we getting used to things?
Right.
And or am I getting used to things? I just certainly have gotten used to things like that I genuinely didn't know about, or in terms of, or I knew about, or I think I didn't. Like I've started watching the show Dear White People, and I think we're with the Black Lives Matter movement, and just so many different more voices because of the internet. Like we can all connect with and people have representation more than. Anyways, I think it's important that we know what everybody's experiencing in our country, and it is not good.
Yeah. But like you brought up pussy hats, which is such a surreal idea that it should have almost come out of Lady Dynamite. You know what I mean? Like, I can't... first of all, I can't believe that we just say it now.
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
And two, I'm shocked that anyone could be so angry that they could knit a hat to just keep that energy. You know?
Knitting is all about passive aggression.
I had no idea.
I'm making this for you. That's my mom.
Every single.
I got a little. I'm doing a scarf, and guess what? You better appreciate it.
So you were kind of becoming more political, even though it's something you'd rather.
It's possible not to be, right?
Yeah.
Or I would feel like not doing your duty as a citizen now to not at least say what you believe.
Right.
Whether or not you actually, all I'm doing is signing petitions online, it seems like, and sending money. That's all I'm doing. I have not yet. I did march in the Women's March, but I didn't do the Science March, and I feel terrible about that. And I walked past it. Is that something? Somehow that seems like something.
Right.
And yeah, so I think that I'm not sure what to do, or it doesn't feel like there's. So, because I've called the congressman, I've called the billion people, and that's always weird because my representatives are all liberal Democrats, so they're already doing what I asked them to do.
Yeah.
So then I start calling the representatives that apparently whose minds will be changed by someone they don't represent, a constituent. So I'll call and go, hi, I really think Senator so-and-so McCain should really listen to the, let's say, where are you calling from? Los Angeles. They just basically hang up. I mean, so that feels a little hopeless. Maybe somebody else has some ideas of what I could do.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
I think we're all ready to follow you.
Oh, okay. A brain-dead megaphone like myself? I'll just be a benevolent dictator.
Do you meet anyone who thinks differently, like in your audience? Do you ever run into...
Not so much.
Yeah.
And I think we all do need to talk to each other. I mean, it is very, I don't understand when people say that they voted for the person who's in office right now. But I can try to understand it that, some people I know voted because they said, hey, nothing's changed for me, over whoever it's been. Yeah. So this guy seems like I can understand what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay. Or, people have all sorts of reasons and they're not evil people, but I also think that is our idea of what is a person capable of, and I think that the thing in, and this is going to get dramatic, genocide or is what human beings, we're all capable of horrendous things, and we're just normal people who do things. So that's what I get concerned about, is whether it comes from whatever side of the political, is that we need to be, or I just want to be aware that even though they're just normal people, and they're nice, and they have families, and they do other nice things. I mean, just like me, that I'm capable of, some bad, violence or whatever. My friend, oh my God, I won't say her name, but she is a delight. She is my friend. She's a comedian, but some guy said something awful at the grocery store, who is 85-year-old white man, saying something generally awful. We can all imagine what it might be. And it was something that is inhumane about any number of people. My friend shoved him. And told him, she's an American. He said, it has nothing to do with you. And anyway, she shoved him, and then she went to go cry in her car. But, I mean, there's that feeling of impotency that leads, I think, to violence. And, I do like that about comedy, that at least laughing
right.
kind of releases that, tension, that makes you want to kill something.
But you're right. We are all capable, and you can tell that because all the riots take place in the summer. You know what I mean? Like heat. Heat will make people riot. Yes. You never hear of like, oh, there was a terrible January riot in Queens.
Yeah, comedy clubs always cold.
Yes.
Always 50 degrees because it makes people laugh.
Yeah.
I'm just
they need to warm up a little bit. Yeah. But it is, even when you think about the idea of a comedy club or a theater showing up to just laugh, it is really unique in entertainment.
It's very healing, but I think there's also some things where when we're kind of ghettoed off into our own little crevices, you know, where we're all at. I mean, because I know there's Christian comedians who only perform for mega churches, or, you know, and you think, oh, I wish we could all hear each other.
Right.
That would, and I have listened to some Christian comedians.
Yeah.
And they got some good stuff. I've read the Bible. I've skimmed it. Okay.
But I will say this about
just the sexy parts.
Yeah. And there's plenty.
There's
plenty. Yeah.
Oh, get into bed with Dad. What?
Did you grow up religious? Or?
Yes, sir. My parents, my mom especially, has a very close relationship with Jesus, and so that's great. And
she's Protestant, or
she's Protestant and not a conservative Christian.
Right.
So she loves. She's a liberal. She marched in Washington, the Million Mile March against gun ownership. I think it is, or not gun ownership. What is it? Gun control.
Gun control.
And I think you can own one. I think it's about lock it up. Don't put it under your pillow, weirdo. But she always wishes, everybody's into my mom loves Christ. My dad loves his friend Lyle, who's into Lyle. Not in that way, though, maybe in that way. Not sure. I don't want to judge that. But Lyle Wilds, who does this wonderful program to counsel people who have committed domestic violence. So my dad does men's groups it's like a 26-week program in Duluth, Minnesota, where if you have beaten your wife, you can avoid further jail time by going through that program. My dad loves it. He's gone through it so many times. And my dad is he's a very extremely nonviolent man, but hilarious that he's going through. But he loves that philosophy. And then sometimes you just can't get what you want with women. Is that what you've gotten from it, Dad? And that mom isn't here just for your pleasure. My sister is, she's into a whole nother spirituality thing. So, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm social media. I think I
social
worship.
Media. But you've always been somewhat of like a self-help.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Does any of it help?
I don't think I've changed discernibly in 25 years, but I think I am just, it's a joke of a special that I'm just playing a very long game of emotional Sudoku, where I'm just filling out blanks and having fun in airports, by myself. I love that kind of stuff. Like my husband, he agreed. We went on the Love Lab workshop, and it's in Seattle, and you go and you talk with Dr. John and Judy Gottman, and you spend 72 hours in this apartment where they videotape you. We didn't do that. That cost too much. But and they look for the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in your relationship, which are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling. Criticism is when your partner says, oh, there's a beautiful sailboat, and you say, oh, that's a stupid sailboat. Contempt. Oh, you and your fucking sailboats. Defensiveness. I have nothing to do with that sailboat. Why do you keep bringing it up? And stonewalling. When you are just silent. So we're doing that.
And you love it. That's fun for you.
Oh, I love it. I love sort of controlled communication. Stand-up is like that, where it's like, when you get to speak, what's going to happen. Like, I think I do have social anxiety, so I love a podcast.
Yes.
Like, it's like, oh, I know when it may end.
Right.
It's gonna, and,
it doesn't go on forever.
But like chit chat is hard. Like my husband will note when I'm squirming, talking to the neighbors, like, oh God, so you're going to say something about our garden, and then we're going to mention something that's going on down the street, and then are you going to say something again? Oh, come on. Like, I feel more comfortable when there's a hard out on anything.
And we had an app for that this is an 8-minute talk. Someone's giving you the wrap it up in front of the mailbox.
Exactly.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. Because my husband was like, why did we have to leave? Don't you? I mean, because I do get obsessed with, like, I want to create community. I want to connect with people. And then he's like, they were chit-chatting with us. Why did you have to suddenly go? You aren't going anywhere. I live the life of a clown. I'm not busy. So, I just feel like, I have to go somewhere. It's so ridiculous.
I totally 100% agree with you, though, because I think when I'm in a coffee shop, I go, I just wish I had we had 2 microphones. This would be so much better than you asking me questions for no reason. We could be recording this and doing something.
Yes. Stay on topic.
Yeah.
How are we all floating?
Maybe a cue card when you lose yourself. There's just someone there to help out a little bit.
Yes.
So you love performing, but real life is where.
Well, and I think it's a lot better now. I have a delightful assortment of medications I'm on, and that sort of thing has really helped me. I'm all for medication because life was very, not that it wasn't okay, but I think it is eye-opening how wonderful life can be when you are on some good meds. Like, I was like, what? Like, you jackasses have been living like this all this time?
Yeah.
I just had no idea, like, that people just... it was pretty good. We had fun. What do you mean by that? You mean like a unique set of extremely uncomfortable circumstances, or I just didn't have a lot of relaxed time, and now it's like yesterday, my husband and I, we just walked the streets of New York giggling, and that was not an experience I could have. Not we were giggling constantly. Clearly, there's some shop windows we were disappointed in, but
that is the oddest thing that you don't understand when you're younger, that you get as you get older, is that you don't need to go to these extremes to feel okay.
That I would just, I think I was teary-eyed a lot of my younger years, before the age of 40 at least, when I was willing to go on mood stabilizers. Somebody said, or was finally, I was just willing. I was feeling bad enough that I was willing to try something different, and it was, just not immediately delightful, but in the end has been great.
Yeah, that is the tough thing about it, is like you don't know for a long time whether you're on the right ones.
Yeah. And they're not for everybody, but I know, it has been a good experience for me, and I didn't want to go on this. I was okay with antidepressants, but then when somebody said mood stabilizer, I was like, you mean I'm crazy? And then it got so bad that it was like, oh yeah, I am crazy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Whoops. And when you. Someone needs to drive in a purple van to the doggy daycare because you need to be boarded for the weekend. Need 72 hours by myself because I'm trying to call the Pope. Why am I calling the Pope so much? That he's busy.
He's busy. Can't take your call. This is your 7th call. I told you can't get through. But at the time, you don't realize calling the Pope would be a bad idea.
No, Well, and I didn't get into a psychotic state. I got very obsessed about, I like to get obsessed about ethical issues. So it was actually from the Target campaign, I got very obsessed with what their manufacturing process was and, which... Oh my God, don't go down that wormhole. It is not good. It is not good how they are getting their goods made or brought here. And there's a reason that they do not show those employees hard at work.
Well, Barry Crimmins said something to me the other day, and I think he was quoting somebody else, but he said, after the Civil War, we learned not to bring the slaves here. You know what I mean? So that's the amazing thing that they pulled off. But any of us, you know what I mean? It's one thing that you represent them, but any of us who shop anywhere.
Yeah, no, it's unavoidable. Yeah. And so, but I think I started to get unmanageably obsessed with it and was going to priests. And I mean, I'm not even religious. And I was the priest was like, I think it's fine to do ads for it. And then I explained to him my logic and he's like, oh yeah, that's not good. So yeah, I just started to get too much and feeling suicidal about it. Like somehow I was this terrible, redonkulous in terms of, we're all doing the best we can.
But because you're willing to talk so openly about that, I think that attracts a lot of people who haven't found that outlet yet. Because I think most of us have had some kind of unwanted thoughts that we don't tell anybody about.
Yeah, no, I definitely had, I had the OCD thing where it's have unwanted, violent, sexual thoughts that I couldn't. I had those since I was 10 years old, and I remember I told my mom, and she said, "Oh, well, we'll find you a therapist, and it's okay if you're gay, honey." And I was like, "Oh, that's not what I was getting at," but. Yeah, it was just it's a very specific, weird thing, and thank God for the internet. Google it.
Yeah.
Whatever weird thing you think nobody else has.
Yeah.
There is a web page and a chat room.
Yeah.
And people are talking about it.
Well, I think even before that, people wouldn't even talk about a panic attack until 1989 or something. You know, it was crazy. And now you don't know a person who hasn't had a panic attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and especially within our world, it has gotten so much faster, and there is so much less human connection, maybe, or opportunity to, things like the village, or all of us being seen by other people close to us is more I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school. But
I didn't go to school.
But yeah, things, it makes sense in some ways, but even so, I don't think I couldn't have made it. Like when I read about, somebody like Virginia Woolf and her experiences, and I think, oh yeah, you just wouldn't make it. You just go, oh, I'm calling it. This time I know what's up ahead, and I'm done. Which is that's the great thing, is that there are ways to get better. But I also have sympathy. I have tons of sympathy. This is one of my new jokes. For suicide, in terms of it's a genuine illness to die of mental illness. It's a genuine fatal illness. Mm-hmm. It's not for lack of trying that people die. This is a terrible. Well, I'll tell. I queued it up. So, it's a joke I just wrote. I was at the funeral of a comedian who had committed suicide, and that, of course, is not the funny part. It was horrendous, and I overheard someone saying, "Gosh, suicide is just the single most selfish thing you can do." I mean, he had 2 kids, and his wife, God, she's so beautiful. And I thought, you know what? I think blaming someone for their own death. I think that's the single most selfish thing you can do at their funeral.
Yeah.
Hold up, wait, scratch that. Writing down the premise for this joke at the wait. You know what? I'm going to even edit that and go back and say, combining two things that did actually happen in real life and making a fictional narrative and in order to, present that I'm fighting stigma. I think that is perhaps the single most selfish thing you can do. I mean, he had 2 kids, and his wife was so pretty. Somehow that seems important.
Yeah.
How pretty his wife was. I don't know. That always makes me laugh. People going, he had a house and a wife.
No one has ever said he committed suicide, but did you see how ugly his wife was?
Yeah.
Well, how did he hold on so long?
It's like,
how did he do it?
It's like, no, it's an illness. People die of illnesses. It's not like, I don't know. Anyways, it's funny.
But I think that when we say, like, how could they do that? I think that's a fear-based place to come from too. Like, I'd never, I would never do that.
I would not, yeah. And I think, the same thing. Yeah, like it's not in my human experience. I would never do that. And so, yes, you're right. I should have more compassion.
No. You should go for the joke. But I think everybody's had that experience, like when you're like walking over a bridge where you go, well, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Just on the way down.
Yeah. I know that's not a thing for me. I think of, my things were always like worried that I would touch people inappropriately and that kind of thing. So that's something that kept me from going out. And, but then I went to an OCD specialist and it turns out they're like, oh yeah, what else?
Yeah, right. Which is kind of heartbreaking, right?
Will you not eat baby carrots because it reminds you of the genitalia of the crucified Christ? Say it aloud over and over again into a recorded device and then come back to me in a week. It turns out those things are fairly common.
Yeah, which is always awful when you find out you're not unique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Because, like, I'm an alcoholic and an addict, and I always thought it was very much like Miles Davis and Lou Reed. And then I'd go to a meeting, and it's just some housewife in suburbia is literally telling my story while I'm glaring at her.
Yeah.
I'm like, that belongs to me, Miles, and Lou, dude.
Yeah.
Not a housewife from New Jersey.
And she was even more hardcore than you were.
Way more. I'm like, my bottom is way up here, God damn it.
She's drinking scope out of
I know. They're the best. The real secretive ones. That's the thing when, like, people, like, are worried about getting help. Join any group, and it's better than any movie that you'll ever go to.
Yeah, it's such a relief. Like, I love groups. I love, because then you just, and it's, again, structured communication, my favorite. Everyone's timed, especially in New York and LA. Everyone's just like, beep, 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 like time's up. Yeah. But yeah, it's wonderful. I love to, my husband, I took him to a couple meetings because he was like, I'm belonging in, I won't say which ones, because it's a secret. And, he was just horrified. Like, some people hate that, like hate people, talking about what's going on in their lives and stuff like that. But I find it very comforting. He's always like, well, they should be getting real help. I'm like, yep, they probably should. Yeah. But guess what? This is free. Yeah.
Well, every time, like, there's like a school shooter or something, we go like mental health. Somebody should cut this.
Really do something.
It's really hard to catch. You know what I mean? It's a really difficult thing to grab.
Sorry.
It's just to know when someone is like not just a danger to themselves, or, when it becomes like, oh, that's John Hinckley over there,
And that person probably wouldn't be going to groups.
Right.
I would think it sounded like a lot of those, at least the last few white men, we're spending a lot of alone time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the facts about that, so I shouldn't base that on feelings.
Right.
But yeah, I guess it's possible that anybody. I mean, definitely those most shootings are because of domestic disputes, right? Men shooting wives and children.
Yeah.
Am I bringing the room down? You guys. If your husband says, I'll never hit you, you're going to get a beat down. Right quick. Brace for impact. Papa's coming home. Never any need to give you a heads up. That they're not going to hit you. Should not be in the thought box.
And that life has always been here. Like, that's not even like a modern life thing. That's always been around.
Yes, violence against,
You're more likely to be murdered by a loved one, which is kind of nice, you know, in its own way.
It really is. If you're going to go.
Yes.
No, I mean, yeah. I hope to die very old.
Yeah.
At the age of 95 after a hot fudge sundae and holding hands with someone or perhaps a rabbit. Something soft.
Or inappropriately touching a stranger. Yeah. She finally did it.
Reaching out. My worst fear. That's called, it's not called, it's called flooding when they say, like if somebody's afraid of getting dirty and then you put them in like a dumpster and, you know, have them feel as anxious as they can feel. And so sometimes they do that with unwanted thoughts. They have you record in real time whatever your greatest fear is, and then you listen to it over and over again as if that is what is happening. And then you're flooded to a certain amount of anxiety, so your brain can't take it anymore, so you get kind of bored with the idea. And that's one of the ways to cure that type of OCD. So that, you know, like if you fear jumping off the bridge, go through it in the present tense. I am now jumping off the bridge. This is what's happening. You listen to it over and over again, and then you get so bored by it, like you are right now, getting bored by me talking about it.
I'm just thinking this is what happened to me in school when they tried to give me information.
Yes.
I just shut down after a while.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. If you try to educate yourself, you'll just go, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. No, totally. Especially, like really scary thoughts, you know, like thoughts that you're like, that have so much energy for you. Just say them over and over again to yourself. Get them to be really boring. And
now, when you started doing stand-up, did you immediately connect to this kind of material, or were you more traditional at first?
I think I just went up on stage and did whatever shtick I could think of. I think I talked about my family, so probably some personal stuff, but was slightly more theatrical. I'm pretty shy person, so I wasn't ever a discussion comedian or,
Never asked people where they were from. This is
I love that though. I love to be an audience and be asked where I'm from. Where are you from? Where are you from, nice lady? New York. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's it. You just have
that's about my limits.
That's crowd work.
That's crowd work. That's wonderful. What a wonderful place to live. Do you live in Manhattan? Oh, okay. What is it? What is it like? It's great. It's exciting. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Coffee. Me too. I had coffee and a caffeine bar that I got. I know. I'm kind of riding a rocket to the seventh dimension. But where'd you get your coffee, or did you make it at home? Oh, good for you. Good for you. That's reasonable. That's the Susie Orman way. That's like live within your means, but your means do not define you. I love it. My husband and I were living high off the hog, and we're like, wait a minute. We're ratcheting down here. We gotta batten down the hatches.
Yeah.
I can't spend too much. I just bought this jacket, probably made by some people not being paid well.
Yeah.
Or treated well, or living in a place where environment is being protected.
Yeah.
But cute, right?
I just always check to see if there's blood on the zipper, and then I'm like, I won't get it then. That's not right.
There's a wonderful new place that makes clothing in North Carolina, and it's all for women and babies now. But it's called Sprout Patterns, and you can order the clothes online. They make it for you as it's made in a factory in North Carolina. So it's called Sprout Patterns, and you can make it for yourself. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're probably a bit more what clothes are supposed to cost.
But I looked at that. I thought it was great, but I didn't want to put out the extra $4. I'm like, give me the slave wear. But that is true. Like, you can go around and shop and make a political statement that way.
Shopping. Yes. I'm shopping right now, so shopping and holding a sign. That'd probably be. Well, thank you so much for having me on.
This isn't the end of it.
It isn't.
But,
okay. I felt a bit of a denouement.
You thought there was a second of dead air.
I didn't want to. I figured the viewers had tuned out.
But what you do with Lady Dynamite follows all this, but you're not writing all those scripts,
no,
right?
I do not. I did not write on it at all. It has all been written by a staff of extremely talented people, headed by Pam Brady, who wrote Team America, Hamlet 2, amongst a lot of. Oh goodness! Now I'm going to forget the name of it, but it's extremely popular. Oh, I'm going to be hurt.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You know what we'll do? We'll edit in later where you just remember it.
Okay.
You're like, oh, there
Thank
it is,
God.
and then we'll all clap.
It's the animated series with the young kids in Colorado. South Park.
South Park, yes.
She wrote on South Park for all the time that it has been on almost.
But did they talk to you for a while about...
Oh, yes. I would come in, have a massaged kale salad, and I would pontificate saying things like, you guys... I wouldn't say that. And other helpful things that I'm sure they appreciated. And we've been in here for days, and suddenly Princessa comes in here and says, that's not me. So, yeah, they did a beautiful, beautiful job. I don't know how to write scripts. I tried to write scripts earlier in my career. It just was not interesting to me. I prefer, and also working with people. That all involves 12 hours in a room with people.
Yeah.
Didn't sound attractive, but I may, if there were a third season, I might try it out, see if they would let me be a writer on the staff, because just to see if I could push myself. I mean, not that it's some sort of outpatient thing that I'm having Netflix pay for. For God's sakes, they're a business.
Yeah. And then, and at the same time that you this is coming out, you've got the special, Old Baby, which is a hilarious title alone.
Yes.
Yeah. And that came from a joke that you had, which is the way you kind of feel like you live your life.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm older, and I went to talk to some high school students many years ago, and it was a terrible mistake. We were all confused why I was there, and why. And I think that's what I just thought of what they were thinking of, like, oh, she's old, but then she sounds like a baby. That's what I thought. She's like an old baby. That's what I hope that they would think at the very best. And it's very, very odd once I am getting older, and then I still have a high voice, so not sure what to do about it.
But this special gets progressively larger audiences.
Yes.
It goes from you just by yourself to a very big auditorium.
Yes, and I like that just about the idea of it. You know, when you do something on your own, artistically or professional or whatever, and you're pumped, and you just show it to one person or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, best luck with that." That's cool. And then they see it like, whatever. Another smaller or bigger group of people have recognized, and they're like, "Hey, that's pretty cool. Looks like, I mean, something's going on with that. I mean, that's good for you. Good for you. I mean." And then, then they see a bunch of people. Like, I had a friend come see me, and she was like, "Oh, no, you're funny." Like, she saw me with 100 people, and then she saw me with it was 500. She's like, "Oh, you're really," and it was all with the same material. I just think that's so hilarious how, you just, the perception of a person is so much by whatever the venue is. If you're a king of the castle in this circumstance, and then people are like, could you, the hot dogs are for principal talent only. The background extras, your hot dogs are about 2,000 yards away behind 2 warehouses and a truck that's on. So just that it's humbling. Life is constantly humbling.
But I would be interested to know if the audience at home thinks it gets progressively funnier because they see people laughing.
I don't know.
Because there is that crowd thing. I always think if there's a football game and there's only one person in the stands, would he be going crazy? You know what I mean? He'd be like, yes! My God, this is great! Or would he think he's a lunatic?
Or would the player be playing at the top of the game? You know, would they be running as fast as they could? And I'm sure there's probably studies about this of whether people perform faster in sports or whatever better. Sports, you're supposed to go faster, right?
Some of the better sports, you go faster.
You go faster, better in sports, and that a crowd helps, certainly, but I also think that is funny. That, once everybody says it's good, then it's good.
Then it's fine. Yeah, I know it's good. I saw everyone else laughing. Yeah, it has to be fantastic.
Yeah. And the confusion, because not everything is for everybody. My husband, he's into punk rock, and so he went to a big concert back in the 70s, and it was actually the Rolling Stones, so that wasn't punk rock, but the openers were Journey, and he and his buddies, who are all punk kids, got up and were like, "You suck!" But it's Philly, and people just went in on, they were terrified, actually, thought they might be beaten up, because it turns out there's a lot of Journey fans. And,
more than you expect.
More than you expect. And they're big guys. Yeah. And, Faithfully, is a good one. And, but, can be confusing when you're at something. You're like, oh, people like this, yes, it's I think one of my sisters-in-law came to one of my shows, and she was just intrigued. She was just like, so you guys are all here to see her? So what do you think is funny about it? I mean, she was just so hilarious, because I think she's a job coach, and it just, I think they, very more conservative people, and I don't think I'm probably not their sense of humor, which is fair enough. I don't know if I always like what I'm doing, but so she and it was so gracious of her to come, but it is surprising to see things. And we all like different things. How wonderful.
Well, you're also riding this other wave, too, because Netflix wasn't the giant it is now when you start doing business with them, right?
It's so great. And it seems like, of course, I am extremely biased, but there are so many more voices being heard in comedy. I mean, it's still dominated by white straight males. I think that could be said. But there is at least acknowledgement that which I don't know how great that is, but acknowledgement that it's horrendously unfair. Isn't that great? Isn't that a step in the right direction? It is something. It is something. I mean, I'm still the only woman on some shows in LA. I'm just like, what? Like, they're just. I mean, it's just there's just no excuse. It's no excuse, and there are just so many extremely talented people out there, and it just takes effort. And people go, "Well, these are just people I know." Yeah, that's just people. You have to make an effort. You get to know people. It's not going to be like falling out of bed. Because you've got to look people up and find out who's good, so,
But you can do that with Netflix because all the faces are there. And what it's done for Ali Wong's career past year, it's just been amazing.
Wonderful. Yeah. She's a spectacular performer if you get a chance to see her live.
Yeah, she's great. And you really do think, no matter what people think of the specials, whether live is the real experience.
It's so exciting. And then if you have a few drinks, you can yell something out. And
Journey sucks.
Be removed. Yeah. Oh, what fun. Say the jokes out loud as the comedian's saying them. That's a fun one. Sing-along joke machine. No, it's wonderful. I love to see stand up and performers live because it just feels
fun for you.
It's so exciting. Yeah, it just feels like something else could happen, and things do happen. I mean, I try to talk to more people in the crowd now. Just because I'm more social, it's really fun. And then sometimes you can see them after the show. I come out after shows and say hello, and then you get to talk at them the way they've been talking at you for an hour. You can tell me your story.
Are you there at the
I sat on my rabbit, and I was really depressed. I killed my rabbit. No, it was my fault.
Yeah.
I sat directly on my rabbit.
Anyways,
I bet you really are a real bug light for people with problems, right? They come in from everywhere.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
It makes me feel useful. It makes me feel it is so fucking hard to get mental health care in this country. If you don't have insurance, you have to make tens of phone calls, and that's when you're not feeling good, or people are shitty to you on the phone. I mean, it's just. Sucks so hard, so it's like, of course I am not trained at all, but if I can listen, if it's like, I know that helps me if anybody listen, so it's like, I pitched a show 10 years ago about bringing mental health services to comedians on the road. And because my mom's a therapist, and anyways, it didn't sell. Nobody bought the concept. My poor mom was like, honey, I didn't get any laughs in the room. Oh, Mom. It's really hard, and people are not alone. I mean, like, I always felt like, was there something wrong with me that I'm not figuring this out? And it's like, no, it's genuinely difficult to get meds, to get. It's very, very hard. I've had friends who I have insurance now. I can definitely afford all my meds. So it's like, it's delightful, but the majority of people are just, it's a hustle every month to try. I mean, it's just, anyways, I can't.
In New York City, even if you want to shrink, you're waiting 6 weeks, even if you have the money. So you call and they're like, oh, you'll take me. I'll see you in a month and a half. And these are always people on the edge. Yeah. I went through this with a friend of mine. Yeah. So it's just tough.
One of my best friends, she's a therapist for Kaiser Permanente, they're only allowed to see the patients once every 6 months. And this is somebody who's been referred specifically because they're having a mental health crisis, have been through some sort of trauma. What? What's even the point?
Yeah.
Guess what? Time for you to tell me again what happened.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like re-traumatizing people. Like,
Sure.
why even do it? Like, it's just, yeah, no, I could talk forever about that, but I don't think I'd help anything.
Well, I think that you help just by being out there all the time and talking about this, as well as being funny. And here's the really good thing. Now you really can wrap up the show here today.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to sound hopeless about getting health care. Be the squeaky wheel. Just keep calling back. Go sit in that clinic. I sat at LA County Health Services for hours. You know, sometimes you gotta sit around to get the meds. But
by the way, I've never heard that advice ever given before, but it's brilliant. Just go and sit until they fix you. Yeah, that's great.
I mean, it's irritating to them. They want to clear the room,
right?
And there's a million other people waiting too. You know, so they're going to take gunshot wounds before you, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't stop trying, because sometimes I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say that because it is some people who have very severe mental illness. I just can't even imagine like how it's a severe disability, and people should be given care. It's just not fair to say, "Oh, take care of yourself." That schizophrenia, you know, like,
Yeah.
why don't you take care of that? Because I mean, not. Anyways, I won't go into it. Yeah.
Maria Bamford, everybody. It's just wonderful to have you. Thank you so much.